step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning, you beautiful souls. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new week. All the possibilities, the opportunities to do something remarkable, maybe change your life, or maybe just do something useful or nice for another person. The choice is yours. And thank you for choosing us at the start of a brand new week. And we are going to kick it off in style. We've got a lot of fun to be had. My name is Graham Richards. I'm, of course, welcoming you after a very busy weekend, along with the rest of the team. I know Ryle is even more pumped than he normally is this morning, because he's going to be exploring the wonders of bar or bar workouts. Okay, I'm going to say bar. It's B-A-R-R-E. And he has been absolutely entranced by this new piece of equipment, which is so cool. So we're going to give you an opportunity to learn something really awesome. Then Clem is going to whip up, as he does, a little bit of breakfast, making some blueberry swirled oats pots. Really nice. Also going to give us that energy, supercharge all the healthy things that we need. We're going to go international by chatting to a Nigerian artist, Niniola, about her Grammy nomination. The continent is doing it. And of course, finally, Jared Ricketts is back and sounding truly phenomenal, as he does on a Monday morning, for your choice of our Gospel Monday songs. And they really do sound really inspirational today. There's something special about that voice this morning, and you're going to get to share in all of that. But of course, we are all about empowering our far better halves. All this month, it's been Women's Month. And of course, we are loving the fact that we get to put these incredible women in the spotlight, like the incredible woman that's just snuck into studio beside me. A very good morning, Kutle and Rao. How are you guys?
Good morning to you, G. It's a Monday morning.
Yeah, it is indeed. And of course, she was definitely right. I am extra pumped. Bar fitness is going to be a killer, and you are going to love it. Of course, before we begin any further, my name is Ryle Demone. On the left of me, this beautiful woman in here.
Kamalangu Kutle Adams. It feels so good to be starting off this day and this week with you guys right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're still celebrating Women's Month this month. That's why on our social media platforms, we are putting it to you. Hey, man, who's the most remarkable woman in your life, and what makes them so remarkable? Hashtag Expresso Show.
Yeah.
For me, that's very easy.
I know. Who is it?
My mom and my sister.
Of course, I would have to say the same. I think we could go on for days and days about our parents and the opportunities they provided for us and all the magic that's just been created from it. So I think from Kukle and I to our mamas, thank you so much for being the icons in our life. But of course, let us know on our social media channels, expressoshow.com. Let's kickstart this morning off. What do you say, Kukle?
Absolutely. Looks like G is ready with some news headlines this morning.
Thanks so much, guys. Let's kick it off with our national news. And this is big news from a South African perspective, as from midnight tonight, South Africa moves to level 2 lockdown. This as President Cyril Ramaphosa on Saturday evening announced that lockdown regulations would be relaxed due to the country's better than expected response in its fight against COVID-19. He said all indications are that the country has reached the peak and moved beyond the infection point of that curve. So well done, South Africa. Then in his address to the nation, Ramaphosa announced, amongst others, that all restrictions on interprovincial travel would be lifted, and with certain protocols still in place. So accommodation facilities would also be permitted. But international travel is still prohibited outside of the existing regulations. So restrictions on the sale of tobacco would be lifted, and that of alcohol as well, subject to restrictions there as well. And gyms and fitness centres could open with approved protocols in place. However, the curfew from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. would remain in place, and gatherings of more than 50 people are also still prohibited, as are sports events with spectators. The easing in restrictions comes nearly 5 months after the country first moved into a state of lockdown. On to our international news. Scientists who have been monitoring immune responses to the coronavirus for months now are starting to see encouraging signs of strong, lasting immunity, even in people that developed only mild symptoms of COVID-19. A flurry of new studies have found now disease-fighting antibodies, as well as immune cells called B cells and T cells, capable of recognizing the virus, appear to persist months after infections have been resolved. University of Washington immunologist Marion Pepper said this was very promising and called for some optimism about herd immunity and potentially a vaccine being produced. And then Pope Francis has called for dialogue between Egypt, Ethiopia and the Sudan, urging them not to let a dispute over a dam on the Nile lead to conflict. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam that we've been reporting on for some months now has become a major source of discord between the three countries. The Pope said the eternal river should continue to be a source of life, uniting and nurturing friendship, prosperity and fraternity. He was delivering his Angelus speech for Assumption Day, the most important Catholic feast dedicated to the Virgin Mary. And now some news of snail mail from deep under the ocean and high in the Himalayas. Cape Town boasts one of the most popular tourist spots in the world, Table Mountain. And on Table Mountain is its famous mailbox. But in Japan, there's a mailbox under the sea in the tiny seaside town of Susami. The local diving community and postmaster, Toshihiko Matsumoto, established the world's first underwater mailbox to boost tourism. That's even in the Guinness Book of World Records, as it's the deepest mailbox anywhere in the world. One merely dons a wetsuit and then you're off to mail letters some 10 meters under the sea, so that's a big breath. Dive shop owner Hiroaki Yamatani descends each day to collect them to the post office. To date, some 38,000 letters have been sent from there. But on the flip side, Akim, a wee village in India's Himalayas, doesn't have cell phone reception or internet access, but it has mail. In fact, it's home to the world's highest post office. And Rinchen Chering has been the devoted postmaster there since it opened in 1983. So who needs email if you can use snail mail from such depths and great heights? Then taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment, since former Hollywood power couple Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt filed for divorce back in September of 2016, it's been a bitter 4-year custody battle over their 6 children. Maddox, aged 18, Pax, now 16, and Zahara, 15, whom were adopted by Angelina prior to their marriage, and whom Brad adopted upon being wed, and then their biological children, Shiloh, and twins Vivian and Knox, who are now both 12. While it was reported in June that the pair had finally reached a place where they were ready to co-parent together, there's been a bump in the road earlier this month as Angelina filed a request to have Judge John Odekirk, the same judge who married them, removed from presiding over their divorce. No official documents said that the judge failed to make timely mandatory disclosures of ongoing business and professional relationships between himself and Brad's attorneys, which he claims would result in him being biased. Brad's legal team have responded to these claims, explaining that Judge Odenkirk's additional engagements had indeed been disclosed to Angelina and are alleging that this request for removal is just a delay tactic on her side. Now, it's been a contentious battle, and we only hope that ultimately the best course of action for the children will be chosen. On that note, is where we leave our news headlines for now. Let's get into a bumper sporting weekend. Let's kick it off with rugby and New Zealand's Super Rugby Aotearoa wrapping up this weekend with the Highlanders claiming a very impressive 38-21 win over the Hurricanes. The second match between the Blues and newly crowned champions, the Crusaders, was cancelled due to new concerns over the spread of the coronavirus and a new lockdown. In the Australian Super Rugby competition, the Waratahs beat the bottom of the table Western Force, expectedly the score there 28-8, and the Reds beat the Rebels in a thriller or low-scoring affair 19-3. Then on to football. Kaizer Chiefs remain at the top of the Premier Soccer League standings for now after recording an impressive 3-2 win over Polokwane City, an exciting fixture at Loftus Versfeld Stadium on Saturday. Amakosi now 6 points clear of defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns, who dropped points this weekend after a 1-1 draw against Highlands Park on Friday. There'll be one PSL fixture this evening. That's Cape Town City taking on Sundowns at 6 p.m. Then plenty of goals in European football over the weekend. Bayern Munich will face Lyon in the second UEFA Champions League semi-final. The first semi-final will see RB Leipzig up against Paris Saint-Germain. That's on Friday, of course, because on Friday, German side Bayern Munich absolutely thrashed Lionel Messi's Barcelona 8-2 at their Stadio de Luz, and French club Lyon, they stunned Manchester City 3-1. So the Champions League semis will take place tomorrow and Wednesday. And then staying with football, Sevilla have have booked their place in the UEFA Europa League final. That was after coming from behind to beat Manchester United 2-1 in Germany late last night. A penalty by midfielder Bruno Fernandes in the 9th minute put United on the front foot, but Sevilla's Suso, he equalised in the first half, and then a second half goal by Luke de Jong securing the match for the Spanish side. There'll be one Europa League fixture this evening. Inter Milan up against Shakhtar Donetsk, and that's going head-to-head in a place for that final from 9 p.m. this evening. In a busy weekend on all wheels as well, reigning Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton won the Spanish Grand Prix from pole position. The Mercedes driver registering his 88th career victory and 156th podium finish. Incredible, a new record, beating the previous held by, of course, the great Michael Schumacher. And Red Bull's Max Verstappen continued his form, taking second place ahead of Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas in third place. Then back on to two wheels, staying with motorsport though, in MotoGP. A thrilling, very exciting and rather dangerous weekend. Andrea Dovizioso from Factory Ducati's team won a thrilling Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg yesterday. Dovi, he finished first ahead of Suzuki's Joan Mir and Pramac Ducati's Jack Miller. South African Brad Binder rides for, of course, the Red Bull KTM team, finished in 4th place after qualifying in 17th. So another phenomenal ride for him, but a very dangerous race. Lucky, I think, that none of the drivers were seriously hurt in the process. We'll cover all of that in our weekend sports review in just a moment, so stick around right now. Quickly, has got the latest on the weather front.
Mondays are a start of a brand new week, and they offer us the opportunity to step into our true potential, intuition and emotions. Just like these sunrise pictures, we need to show up and show off. Someone who's definitely showing off with this stunning view is Nick Lombard, who captured this picturesque image in Lourisfontein, Northern Cape. This picture is gorgeous, do not get me wrong, but does it not remind you of the cartoon Courage the Cowardly Dog? Yes, I'm sure you can see it. Thank you so much, Nick. It's going to be a mostly sunny day at a maximum of 14 degrees in your part of the country. Now, the early bird, or birds in this case, catches the worm with Christina Claudine Israel's sunrise picture from Durban. Do you know that song, Three Little Birds or Two Little Birds? Rather, I'm pretty sure you do. Durbs, it's going to be a cloudy and windy day at at 37 kilometers an hour. Thank you so much, Nick and Christina. Have a great start to your day. Please continue showing us how you wake up with your sunrise pictures in your part of the country. We want to see how you enjoy the sunrise picture in your city by sharing your sunrise selfies. Yes, I said selfies. We want to see you in the picture as well. Share them with us on our social media platforms, and do not forget to include your location. We're calling it Sunrise Selfie, so be part of the movement. Now let's get into international weather updates. In Kenya, rising water levels in lakes along the Great Rift Valley have forced thousands of people from their farmlands and homes as an ecological disaster looms. This follows severe flooding after months of unusually heavy rain, made worse by illegal deforestation. Lake Baringo and Lake Bogoria, once 20 kilometers apart and now so close together that there are fears there could be mutual contamination, threatening wildlife and livelihoods even further. Lake Baringo provides fresh drinking water to vast numbers of people, while Lake Bogoria is salty and home to a famous colony of flamingos. Both have now risen to alarming levels, in some places up to 12 meters. The flooding continues to devastate not only the agricultural sectors and ecology, but also the vital tourism industry. Let's bring it back home with today's temperatures. Freezing temperatures are expected across South Africa, with snow in the Western Cape. Let's get into the forecast for the day. Starting off with Polokwane, we'll experience temperatures between 9 degrees, reaching a high of 21 degrees. Do expect some showers at up to 56% in Bombela, at a low of 13, reaching a high of 18. Pretoria, it's a partly cloudy day. Your low is 7 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 23. Jozi Maboneng, 520. Mahikeng will see more sunshine at a maximum of 26 degrees. Klerksdorp, 825. Kimberley, the Big Hole, you start off the morning on a low of 1 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 23. Bloemfontein starts the week with temperatures below zero at -5 with an afternoon temperature of 21 degrees. Partly cloudy skies expected in Richards Bay, 17-20. Pietermaritzburg, your low is 5 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 19. South Africa's Playground Durban, 10-20. Mthatha, your low is 5 and your high is 19. East London, 8-21. Cradock, 1-21. The Freni City, Port Elizabeth, your low is 6 degrees and your high is 20. George, 5-18. The Mother City, Cape Town, 9-15 with 69% chance of rain. Worcester, 2-14 at 80% chance of rain. It's going to be a wet day in most parts of the Western Cape today. Sutherland also below zero at -5, reaching a high, -7 rather, reaching a high of 10 degrees. And Uppington, your minimum temperature for the day is 0, but will reach an afternoon temperature of 21 degrees. That was your 7 o'clock weather roundup. We'll have another look at the top of the hour. Remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Here we go. We're back in the beauty room, of course, and we've gotten you covered. Sorry, that is with Woolies, of course. When it comes to knitwear, when it comes to jackets, when it comes to getting you trending for anything that you need for the season, of course, we've got you covered. And I'm joined by Knox Mafu here, the expert when it comes to styling. And you're going to be working on my look this morning, I believe. I've chosen some earthy colors this morning. I've been in a bit of a rush, which is normally the case for me, Knox. I've got to be honest. So when a guy's looking to be stylish, I see guys fully groomed to the nines. He's looking all did and is so styled, but for a guy in my sort of position, don't have a lot of time, but I still want to kind of replicate that look.
Absolutely.
What do I do?
Absolutely. I mean, Ryle, I think you are an example of kind of how busy everyone is. You know, between being on screen, you've got your adventures, there's so much to do. And so you obviously need something that's going to make you look cool, but also keep you warm. So I think a statement jacket is always such a great way to go. So from men and women's fashion, you know, it's a great way of, you know, showing off the definition. You can play with textures. I mean, it's winter now, so you'll probably find that you need jackets that have got a bit of warmth, but a bit of style outside. So definitely a play between textures. But I think what I love when it comes to men also is that it's a great way to define the shoulders. So any kind of simple outfit, like you're saying, you're wearing earthy tones today, just to add that little bit of a different element. A jacket is always such a nice element.
I have to agree with you, especially when you're talking about the jacket being fitted, giving you that extra sort of like, it's almost like putting a little battle suit on.
Absolutely.
It gives you that strength, it gives you the confidence, and that's exactly what carries that ethos of a stylish guy.
Exactly.
So I like that point.
Absolutely.
Very pertinent.
And I love, like you're saying, confidence is also style. You know what I mean? Once you feel good, you feel secure, it's a good showing of your body and the way you want to be seen. I think you can look really, really good.
All right. You're talking my language so far. So I've got to ask you, look, you know me, I'm a nature boy at heart. I love the earthy colors, the earthy tones, or anything that resembles nature.
Yes.
So how do I amplify and boost this look that I currently have? You got me covered?
I've got you covered. You know, I've got you covered. So, I mean, it's actually the Woolworths quality sale at the moment. We're looking at about like 50% off on like men, women, like the clothes are incredible. So there's a really great way to just use the fashion to style it up. So I love what you've got going on here. Very simple, very classic, but we're going to use this utilitarian kind of jacket from Woolworths, which is 100% available.
I always get excited because I feel like I'm getting pimped. I'm like,
you're really fortunate. But I want you to try this on, Ryle. What I love here is just the different play on the textures. It also works with the green that you're wearing today. So a very utilitarian style, very user-friendly, but also a firm grip on the shoulders with a nice play of texture over there. I think that if you were to be caught in the rain, or you were to go for a walk, you'd be warm and you'd also be protected.
Knox, I was actually in the snow yesterday in Motorsport, and this thing would have come in handy.
Exactly.
Not only would it be warm, because, that's a good fit, I'm not going to lie, I'll be honest. But it's keeping me warm. This is really good.
And
this
it
is
looks
awesome.
great. I think there's a difference between textures over here. We've got your great jersey that you've got on. It's functional also if you were in the snow as you were yesterday. But I think it's really, really great. And like you're saying, jackets really do something to an outfit. All of a sudden, it's a bit more finished. It's a great classic finish and you look great.
Thank you so much, Knox Mafu. Well, you guys, there you have it. Of course, it's the Woolworths quality sale. It's about 50% off on these incredible items that are only going to up style and boost your look. Enjoy. Thank you.
Perfect.
That's really good.
Great.
Very good morning. Welcome back. If you have just tuned in, hope you had a fantastic weekend and enjoyed savouring all of the sporting action. Of course, the Crusaders once again walking away with the Super Rugby Aotearoa Trophy, although they didn't get to play this weekend. Their match called off, unfortunately, up against the Blues. Would have been a mouth-watering fixture, but we were still treated to some amazing rugby down under in the form of our Super Rugby AU as well. We're going to catch up with our sports writer, Carl Lewis, this morning to chat all things Super Rugby before we got into our football and all of the other action, the drama of Formula One and two wheels as well. Carl, very good morning, my friend. And this has felt like the first proper sporting weekend of a long time. Lots of sport to sink our teeth into, but again, heartache that we didn't get to see one last outing between the two teams that were probably the most exciting in Super Rugby. So we are talking about a fixture that didn't happen, but how heartbroken are you that we weren't able to see the Crusaders play one more time and also put them up against the Blues? It would have been a cracker.
Exactly, Graham. I know it didn't happen like you said, but it is the one fixture that we deserved, and I think we were looking forward to end this brilliant competition. You know, I think the New Zealanders had done so well, and the two most exciting teams would have capped it off brilliantly. So a bit unfortunate, but in saying that, the Highlanders and the Hurricanes, the match that did go on, that was very, very entertaining. I'm happy that the underdog Highlanders kind of got that win, especially for Aaron Major's side, who have struggled this year, but they've had their high moments in this New Zealand edition of Super Rugby. So the game this weekend was actually quite good, but unfortunate about the Crusaders and the Blues.
And a real performance of character, I think, for the Highlanders. It looked like for all money in that first half that the Hurricanes were going to run away with it. Two really good tries. It looked like they were asserting their dominance, and I don't know where the Highlanders came from, but a huge character-building win. Their last game of the season to come through with that kind of performance against a very strong team. It really was a great showing from the boys.
Exactly, and like I said, Aaron Major, the former New Zealand centre, he's the head coach there. He's had a really tough time. I think they were probably one of the worst sides at the beginning of the year. But I think with Aotearoa, they've kind of given some reference points. There's things to be positive about. You know, they aren't the Chiefs who have lost 8 in a row. So there are real positives for the Highlanders side. And it just shows you the standard of rugby in New Zealand. It's incredible.
I was going to say, if there's one take home from all of this, is that we need to fear this New Zealand outfit, their depth in so many positions, even in fly half. New Ione on the block now to give them even greater depth and more questions on who's going to play where. But really exciting stuff from New Zealand, so we applaud them. And I suppose it gives us some hope at the thought of these individual Super Rugby competitions, that there might be something in that. If we look at, of course, that only result coming out of the weekend, then, of course, between the Highlanders and the Hurricanes, 38-21. So let's cross the ocean now, move over to Australia, where it's got to be said the standard is really rising in the Australian Super Rugby or AU competition, seeing a lot more tries, a lot more points, better defence. The rust has been cleared out. We didn't have much hope in the Western Force getting one over the Waratahs, who are now starting to look like one of the form teams. 28-8 that fixture. What did you make of the Waratahs' dominance this weekend?
Yeah, I think the Waratahs, they also took some time to kind of get the ball rolling. Whereas the Western Force, they started off really well. You know, 3 years out in the wilderness of Super Rugby. They were kicked out 3 years ago. And then it kind of seemed like their first 2 weeks back, they were like, we're here to show you, you should never have kicked us out. But I think they've run out of steam a bit. And I think the lack of quality is quite evident now. I think they were running on a lot of like, we're back, we need to show them. But I think the lack of quality is becoming quite evident right now.
The other fixture, of course, the Reds and the Rebels. Not a huge scoring affair, but that was largely due, I think, from a brilliant defensive outfit. The Reds 19 to the Rebels 3. I do love this Rebels side, and I've had high hopes for them this season, but the Reds, they've clicked, and this was definitely a much better defensive performance this weekend than we saw last.
Yes, the last match between the two ended 18-all, so it was quite interesting to see where this one would go, actually. So the fact that the Reds won, I'm quite impressed. And this, I think last week kind of was the first weekend in this competition where the results kind of surprised us. So this week again, I think it's a continuation of that. Or not surprising, but just wow, things are getting interesting now. So I was quite happy to see the Reds beat the Rebels.
After this weekend, are the Brumbies still your favourite for the tournament, or where's your heart at the moment?
That's a good question, but I think tournament favourites, I'll stick with the Brumbies. Although they've had the hiccups just before they had their bye this week, I still feel they have the best. They have the best team. They have the best set piece. So I reckon they'll go on to win.
No one putting their hands up there to take the crown, but we'll continue to watch Australian rugby with relish because it's the only rugby that we got, and we'll soak it up. But of course, plenty of European football and local football to sink our teeth into this weekend. Carl, you're going to stick around, buddy. Go and grab yourself a cup of coffee, and then we're going to talk you away for Champions League.
Dude.
Are you still locked in at your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and it's Expresso. Now, if you're feeling tired and out of energy, well, that's about to change. With the Vitathion Unleash Your Beast Mode series, we'll be taking a look at different forms of exercise to not only keep you looking good, but also boosting those energy levels to keep you going throughout the day. And now, I'm no stranger when it comes to fitness and exercise, but this morning, I'm going to be taking a look at something a little bit different. And now we're chatting to a Movement Lab lead bar instructor, Jessica Mandel, about bar fitness classes and why it is so unique. Jessica, how are you doing this morning?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryle. Thank you guys for having me.
It's good having you here. There's so many questions. I'm so curious. Now, what exactly is bar and why is it so unique?
Bar is a fusion of Pilates, dance, and yoga, and so it really is a 60-minute flow class. You never stop moving for a full 60 minutes, and it's built on compound movements. So you are taking exercises that you would usually do separately and building them together to make it more compound, targeting more muscles in a shorter period of time.
Oh, it sounds good. I love when we piece things together and make it a little bit more functional. I know all about the benefit of it. Now, what would you say that bar classes are specifically meant for? Is it to lose weight, tone muscle, build muscle, or what exactly can we get out of this?
So I definitely think, any movement, the primary function is to feel good. It's the mental aspect, the endorphin rush, and the incredible feeling you get afterwards. But of course, there are other amazing benefits too. Because you're working compound movements are the fastest way to build and tone muscle. So that is working a greater number of muscle groups in one exercise. That's why bar is so fantastic. And then, of course, the losing weight aspect does come when you combine it with a calorie deficit. So it's just got a whole range of benefits, and it kind of takes exercises that we usually do and makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more upbeat and dynamic, done to music.
Losing weight, gaining muscle, and having fun. I think you're ticking all the boxes right here. So for everybody that is watching the show, I mean, they come in all shapes and sizes and ages, but is bar for everybody out there? I mean, we've got young, old men and women. Can anybody get involved?
Absolutely. I think that's one of my favorite things about teaching bar is you can really reap the benefits no matter where you are coming from in life. It doesn't matter what age, what level you're at. Because it is functional standing work, the majority of our bar work that we do is standing. So that's how we want to carry ourselves. We want to carry ourselves in a functional, strong standing position. So it strengthens you from the foundation, from the very essential level to extreme elite athlete. So no matter where you are on your fitness journey, bar is incredible, and it's even phenomenal for pregnancy to do pre and postnatal because it's a lot of standing work. So I can't recommend it highly enough. Not that I'm biased.
Oh, it sounds absolutely incredible, and you have definitely got me intrigued to find out more. So for everybody out there, let's tune in after the break to join in on some fitness fun with a little bar class exercise.
Activate your beast mode with Vitathion.
back, and I'm still here with Jessica Mandel from the Movement Lab, where we're going to have a live demo on what exactly goes down in a bar fitness class. Now, Jessica, you spent so much time explaining this to me, and you got me frothing for some more of this, so let's put it to the test.
Okay, amazing. Let's go, Ryle. So we're going to start with the feet hip distance apart, and you're going to ground through the heels. Do something that I know you already know about. We're going to start with a squat. So we're building up to a beautiful standing flow. So inhale, you're going to go down into your squat, wriggle the toes, root through the heels. Exhale, engage the glutes as you lift up into hip extension. Inhale, taking it down, and exhale, lifting it up. Now inhale, we're going to hold it down here. From here, we're transitioning from a squat to our most popular bar exercise, the plie. So you're going to take the shoulders, stack them over the hips, and turn the feet out. And then you're going to go back to parallel as you take the hips forward into a squat. So the shoulders go back as you plie, and the shoulders come forward as you squat. Take the hands to heart and now start to flow between those two positions. I want you to imagine you've got a brick on your head. You're staying low throughout this exercise to keep the tension on the quadriceps, starting to get a beautiful burn through those legs. And now we're going to hold it in our squat. Give me a little pulse in that squat. Getting those tension on the knees, opening the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now from here, inhale, prepare. Exhale, you're going to lift up and lift one leg to the side. And then inhale, take it down into a squat. Exhale, stand tall. We're going to hip abduction.
Are my legs supposed to be burning like this? Is that correct?
Your legs will be burning for the full 60 minutes of bar class. That's what you want. If it's burning, it's good.
Definitely feeling the burn, feeling the glutes.
Good. We're going to start with the left side. As you go back into a lunge, the shoulders come back over the hips, both knees go to 90 degrees. And then you're going to come forward into your squat, bring your shoulders forward. You stack the spine up against an imaginary wall, and then you come forward. You do two more like that with the left side. So staying on one side to build more fire. Unilateral work works us more effectively. Now hold it. We swap over to the right. Inhale, we lunge back. Exhale, we come forward into our squat. Inhale and exhale. Two more. Stay low. Get that fire through the left quad. And last one. Hold it forward. Let's pulse down, taking it lower. Good. Stay low. Rooting through the heels. I want you to wriggle the toes. Beautiful. Now we're going to take that left leg back to a lunge. This is your starting position. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, you're going to kick the left leg through and push the arms behind you. Inhale, you're going to go back to that lunge. Exhale, reach the arms behind you. Press through that heel. And inhale, draw the abdominals towards your spine to feel that stability facilitated by your abdominals. Last one. Connect to that right glute. Beautiful, Ryle. And bring it forward to your squat. We change sides. Right leg goes back into your lunge. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, press into the left heel. Push the arms back. Inhale, you take it down. Nice and low in the middle. Good. You want to get low in the middle. Now pull up the right quads from the patella to extend that leg fully. Good. Take it down. Last one. Coming into your lunge. Really good. Squat. Hold it there. Let's do our last 6 pulses. 5, 4, 3. Take it lower for 2. Open the chest as you lift up, standing tall, and you should feel that amazing burn in the legs.
Wow, Jess, that was unbelievable. I was trying to just hold on and survive that session. Normally throughout these exercises and throughout these sessions, I'm talking about the stimulation, I'm talking about how the movement goes, but I couldn't even concentrate. I was just holding on. My legs are burning. They're feeling like absolute fire, but at the same time, weirdly enough, I've got like this crazy endorphin rush. I don't know if you can see it and feel it, but oh, that was so awesome, Jess. Thank you. So I'd imagine, how many times would you repeat a flow like this, or how do you kind of put it together?
So that's what's so incredible about bar is you never really repeat one movement too many times. You work from a squat to a plie, to a lunge, to a curtsy, and you start off with very simple movements, and by the end of class, you've built up this amazing repertoire and flow that your body has worked so three-dimensionally that you've really targeted every single muscle. No muscle goes untouched in bar.
Oh, Jessica, that was absolutely incredible. I'm feeling like I've just conquered the world. And now there's some good news for all our viewers out there. You too can win a 1,000 Rand Take A Lot voucher courtesy of Vitathion. And all you got to do is reply to the Vitathion competition post on the Expresso Facebook page and, of course, the Expresso Twitter page. And tell us, what is your favorite way to work out? And, of course, don't forget to use that hashtag #AllDayBeastMode. And the competition closes on the 21st of August, 2020 at midnight. And terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. I'm getting back to my burner. See you guys later.
Thank you so much, Ralph, for that great workout. I'm sure you got everybody ready ahead of all the gyms reopening, as we've heard the president announce over the weekend. Exciting stuff. Now, time for a delicious breakfast to fuel us for the day as we need. But of course, before we get cooking, Woolies, as we know, alongside the gift of the givers, they've teamed up with an aim of distributing 1 million meals to families in need. And we are so close to reaching that magic number, that goal, with under 190,000 meals to go. We've come a really long way. And each food care pack is filled with a balance of protein, fresh fruit, vegetables, and other staples. It's going to go a long way. It's going to really do well for the people. But of course, hygiene products are in the mix as well to help curb the spread of COVID-19. And here's the thing. Did you know that as little as 10 Rand can provide one person with 3 meals for a day? Think about that. It's something to think about. So join us all in the fight against hunger, because together we will and we can. Just scan the QR code on the screen right now with the SnapScan app or your banking app on your phone and donate today. And of course, any donation that you make will really help to make a difference. And of course, together we will. Now, we know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and Woolies have got you covered with a whole range of breakfast cereals. There's a whole range. There's lots of them. You can't get through them all, but of course you can try. And we're going to try this morning. Of course, you can get like the on-the-go vanilla pots, for example, quick muesli for the morning rush, or warm oats for winter weekends. Everybody likes that. Breakfast has never been this easy, and Chef Clem, he is putting his own spin on it with a blueberry swirled oat pot. Chef Clem, that's got me excited.
I mean, I think you should be very creative in the morning. Start your day off with like a creative, like inspiring breakfast, and the rest of your day is going to be like equally amazing.
That's the thing. I always say that the breakfast you have sort of determines your mood for the entire day.
Right.
Because that's how you start.
And that's why South Africa starts their morning with us, right?
Yeah. Well,
because
that's exactly it. That is exactly it. The tone is set.
Tone is set. So let me start our breakfast. So I'm using this beautiful blueberry coconut oat pot. These pots are lifesavers.
Yes.
You literally keep them, pour water on it, and then a few minutes later you're eating.
You're good to go.
Which is really great. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to modify it and I'm going to turn it into something even more delicious and play on the flavors of the coconut and the blueberry. So I'm going to take it. It comes in this cool little packet. All you have to do is give it a little shake. Cut it open.
We want you to have as much fun as we're going to have with this one. So please do go on our website if you want to get your hands on this recipe and the steps involved in really switching it up and making it very interesting on your Monday morning. Go onto our website. It's at www.expressoshow.com. We've got it all on there. I do talk a lot.
I know, but it's fine.
Talk a lot.
But smell this.
Time to open the pack.
Smell this. How tropical and amazing. A bit of that coconut, the blueberries. It's really delicious. And
it smells like a fancy breakfast already.
Already. I mean, like on its own, that's breakfast and it's fancy and it's amazing. Pour some water on and let it do its thing. So while that's happening, let me tell you about what's going on right now. If you check out Daily Difference, right now, there's a big saving. Any 2 cereals, any 2, and you get 20% off. That's amazing. So you can mix and match, because I cannot have the same breakfast every morning. I can't do that. I have to mix it up, right? You do.
I like that it's any 2. So you're not just getting oats, for example, 2 packs of oats. You can get oats and then get
granola. Look, I know you and Beyonce on your.
Beyonce love granola.
Yeah, how's she doing?
Oh, she's so good.
Oh, great. I'm so happy to hear that.
Film's done so well. We were just catching up yesterday.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so let's talk about it. So even the brownie spy granola muesli, that sauce, the chocolate that they use is sustainably sourced. Everything's done with tomorrow in mind. If you look at these strawberry puffs, look at that vibrant pink color. Where do you think it comes? Where do you think the color comes from?
Beetroot. Yeah.
Why are you stealing my thunder?
That's correct, right?
It is correct.
That
because
is
Mother
correct.
Nature does it best, right?
Yeah.
So they're using natural colors to get the vibrant colors in the cereals. That's what I absolutely, absolutely love.
My niece is obsessed with those puffs.
They are so good.
They're such a hit in my sister's house.
They are amazing. Okay, so we've got our beautiful oats doing its thing. That's going away. That's all you have to do. That's going to literally puff up and get cooking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to amplify the flavors of the blueberries. I'm using these amazing flavor burst blueberries.
And they're so nice and dark.
They are so dark.
The darker the berry?
The sweeter the fruit.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we go. Who told us that?
Questa.
Yeah, also one of your besties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Hi, Questa.
It's a privilege that you are with us. We don't. How are you here?
I connect you to all the big stars.
You do.
In my absence, there's really none of this.
Oh, wow. And I love how modest you are. That's my favorite thing.
I joke, I really don't know.
Okay, so cold blueberries going into the pot, little bit of vanilla paste. I find that blueberries and vanilla, the flavors go so well together. The vanilla actually amplifies the flavor of the blueberries.
Wow,
yeah,
I never would have thought of that combo.
It's amazing, it's so great. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of water, I'm gonna turn the heat on, and what's gonna happen is the berries are gonna start bursting and popping and releasing their flavor and the color, and the water's just gonna help that happen. So
and
then
all just gels together.
Oh, it's so amazing. So the blueberries are quite sweet already, but what I want to do is I want to add a little more flavor. That's going to be with the honey, and that's going to add sweetness as well. So what's the reason for that is I kind of want to jar it at the end, and the honey helps it live a little longer, and it adds extra flavor. So the honey goes in.
This is just so many ways to make this breakfast bowl so attractive. Cliff.
It is, absolutely.
You really are doing the Lord's work here.
I am. What?
You are just,
well, yes.
You are serving the nation with just all the goodness.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to start cooking away. It's going to start popping. You're going to hear it. Things are going to happen. But you want to do it nice and slow, so those berries really have some time to heat up and pop and release all their flavor and color.
Yeah.
So then what happens is you pot it like this, and this will live in your fridge. Because we're not adding any additives to it, it's like the real product.
Yeah.
This will live in your fridge for about a month. But it's not going to last that long.
Yeah,
because
that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You use this on your pancakes. If you're making muffins and you swirl this through the batter before you bake it, those are going to be the most amazing blueberry muffins you've ever had in your life. It goes on all your breakfast.
Yeah.
It goes on like French toast.
Think of waffles.
Think of waffles. Oh my goodness. It's so great. But honestly, this is what you do with any fruit that's in season that you're worried, like if you buy like strawberries in bulk, do this to it. If you buy peaches in bulk, do this to it, because then it's going to last long in your fridge, and you're getting the best of the season, and it's going to last you like for a month. It's just how you do. Okay.
If you're
now,
carbo loading, you can even throw that, mix it up with your pap, for example.
Yes. I like it.
What can't you do? What can't you do?
Oats are done. You see it's puffed up nicely, it's swelled up. That's all it needs. So now we're going to make it real fancy. So to amplify the coconut flavor, I've got this beautiful coconut. This is coconut. It's not coconut yogurt, but it's like it's a dairy-free version.
Yeah.
And the coconut flavor is so good. It's so delicious. All you have to do is swirl it through your beautiful oats. So simple.
You know what I really love about you, Clem? Amongst many other things.
I was about to say, you have time to...
I couldn't. If I had to print it, we'd run out of all the trees in the world, honestly.
Okay, tell me.
You know, but listen to this. You make every meal an experience. And
thank you.
That's really something to behold.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, because that's how we should be eating.
Hey.
Like, honestly, make every meal a moment.
Sure.
And breakfast especially. Okay, get the family around the table. If you're still working from home, what better way to start your day by getting the family around the table, get your tablet on the side, watching Expresso, having breakfast. This is how you do it. Okay.
This is so exciting. So what are you adding now?
Freeze-dry coconut chips. These are amazing. These are great to just snack on during the day as well.
I think once you've had this breakfast, actually, really nothing else will be able to compare throughout the day. You're going to have to work so hard to try and match the breakfast you've just served.
To be honest with you,
this is it.
It is. This is a hotel breakfast that I've had before that has inspired this recipe.
Oh, yeah.
But now you're able to take the ingredients from Woolies, make it your own, and replicate that like hotel breakfast with your family. It's so simple. This is all you need to start not only your day off, but your week off. Starting it off on the right way, it's going to be an amazing week. I've got a feeling that this week's going to be like really, really amazing.
Good, right?
It's like there's an energy in the air.
I feel the same. But can I tell you what I feel about Woolies? Is that Woolworths is the girl that she thinks she is. She is the girl.
She's that girl.
She is, and she is that girl.
And she's going to own it. It's amazing. So be a cereal saver this week. Check out Daily Difference. Go and get all those cereals. Save 20% for any two that you get. How's that breakfast?
So good.
So good.
So good.
So good. That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear.
Thanks, Clem.
It's a pleasure. Do you want to say something to South Africa, or are you just going to eat?
I want to tell them they can go on our website, woolworths.co. No, expressoshow.com. You can also go on Woolworths website, of course, because that's where you'll see this range of cereals available. But of course, breakfast should be an experience. Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso, and your timing's pretty good if you want to talk sports. We're going to get into a full roster of European football and, of course, local football back in action with a jam-packed all teams in action over the weekend. Carl Lewis rejoins us to continue the conversation. And, Carl, I got to say, man, we had it all wrong. All the games we picked were goalless, and all the games that we thought would go one way went a completely different route. But don't worry, I think everyone was surprised by the weekend results. Let's start here locally. We thought, obviously, that Pirates and Wits who have played a lot of football over the last week with their cup competition and PSL, we thought that would be the cracker. But that one ending 0-0. What did you make of that encounter?
Yeah, I made a point to watch that game because I thought perhaps things could liven up there. But yeah, a dull goalless draw. I think both teams still struggling to kind of get out of lockdown. You'd have expected Wits to kind of have a bit more. It was their third game of since the restart. But yeah, I just think it was their opportunity mathematically to stay in the league. But yeah, I just kind of shows they're nowhere near the title race, both sides. It's still reserved for Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns for this season.
Of course, Chiefs were involved in the fireworks up against Polokwane City 3-2. Now, that was a stunner. Yeah, and I think it kind of shows that Kaizer Chiefs, they are championship material, perhaps. I think, especially considering Sundowns have kind of started in their restart. So I think it's really there for Kaizer Chiefs to take an unlikely title. You have to remember that they finished 9th last year. So there is an element of surprise, despite them being, one of the biggest clubs in South Africa, for them to take the title. There is a surprise, but it looks like they'll take it. But this should be an interesting week. Let's give Sundowns. Let's see how they go on this week. But yeah, I think that the impetus is definitely with Kaizer Chiefs in this PSL title race. Yeah, they've now opened up a 6-point gap at the top of the table. Sundowns definitely dropping an opportunity and losing points this weekend with that 1-1 draw with Highlands Park. But a full roster of football continues as Cape Town City FC do take on Sundowns tonight. That should be a wonderful yardstick. So let's shift further afield to Europe. Where did this result come from, my friend? I think the entire world is left scratching their heads. Is it the end of a Barcelona era? Should we just bury Lionel Messi? What do we make of an 8-2 victory for Bayern Munich over Barcelona? That's just, it's unfathomable. What do we take out of a scoreline like that?
I tweeted on Saturday that this is a watershed moment for Barcelona, or at least it should be. You know, there's been unrest at the club this entire season. They've changed managers a number of times. You know, they fired their manager, which you can expect after the result. But I think the biggest issue at the moment lies at boardroom level. The president currently is very unpopular. Their finances are not in order. Their transfer strategy has been called into question, and rightfully so. So the problems are it's an aging squad, but it definitely lies at the top, and there definitely needs to be a change. Gerard Piqué, their most experienced defender, he said, you know, change definitely needs to happen. This is rock bottom for us as a club.
Yeah, and a team that generally relies on growing. I think 70-odd% of that team came through the Barcelona youth ranks as well. So they're used to producing their own talent, but they do need to buy. So, of course, a 2-8 loss there to Bayern Munich, who must be tournament favourites now. In another encounter, and I feel bad now because we were touting Lyon as the surprise outfit, but they proved their mettle up against Manchester City and did it in style, 3-1.
Yeah, I think the one-off game that the competition, the format the competition is now, really suits teams like Lyon. You know, City could have a second leg to kind of come back, but now with this one-off, it really makes for a fascinating 90 minutes of football. And yeah, I think they kind of just showed you they are worthy of their place. But in the same breath, I think Pep Guardiola, there'll be a lot of talk about how during big Champions League games, he seems to make random decisions, selection decisions, tactical decisions, which may look unnecessary. But at the end of the day, these players did miss huge opportunities. I know Raheem Sterling, who's been phenomenal for them this season, he missed an open goal. So the opportunities were there for them to win, and they only have themselves to blame.
Yeah, and I think, you know, take nothing away from Maxwell Cornet's unbelievable finish to kind of, I think, start tipping those scales, but a really strange team selection there. But that means that we'll see RB Leipzig up against PSG and Bayern Munich up against Lyon in the semi-final fixtures. We're going to leave it there. My brother, thank you so much for joining us this morning and enjoying along with us all of this amazing weekend sport. Go and get yourself another cup of coffee. And, of course, you guys at home need to remember we are looking for you, the super fan. If you want to have your say live on the show, let us know on our social media platforms. Let us know your opinions on Facebook, and we might be connecting with you to chat to you live. But sending once again a massive thank you to Carl Lewis and to all of you who've enjoyed what was an amazing weekend of sport.
I wish I knew what they were talking about, because it sounds so fun and so intricate. I can imagine how amazing it was. What exactly was that conversation about?
It was an absolute thriller. It's basically like the knockouts of the Champions League.
Okay.
One opportunity to make it to the semis, and there were just goals galore and upsets like you cannot imagine. Oh, it was insane. It was a thriller. Definitely a weekend thriller.
Okay, I will take your word for it. But one thing that I know to do best is taking a sip of some cappuccino and maybe a sneak peek. I'm seeing a donut over here as well. I'm going to taste. I know it's only the morning, but that's how we roll out here. And you should also go top up your coffee, because after the break, we celebrate your birthdays and get another magical Monday gospel performance from Jared Ricketts.
You know, we love Jared Ricketts. I cannot wait for him. And of course, if you want to get in on this delicious combo, by the way, of course, head over to McCafe, where they are offering you a free donut with any purchase of a small cappuccino. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? We'll see you just now. Cheers. Virtual.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple. Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you. Hey, welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. Yes, jamming into it, and you know what that means when you hear that tune. It's time to celebrate you. You are loyal, our loved viewers, our celebrated viewers who celebrate their birthdays today. And if it is your birthday, hey, listen to this. You're not celebrating alone. You share it with this American superstar. She is absolutely fantastic, Thaisa Farmiga, who, his performance on her sister's debut film, Higher Ground, received critical acclaim, which landed her a leading role as Violet Harmon in the series American Horror Story. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow. Of course, her fans were devastated over Thaisa not being in more seasons due to conflicting schedules. But we're happy we get to celebrate her birthday today, and she's still here with us. Happy birthday, Thaisa.
Thaisa, indeed. Yeah, lots of shivers, lots of chills from that show. I definitely did watch it, and I actually remember that specifically. But now, moving on to you beautiful people at home and celebrating your birthdays, we're starting off with, I think it's Michaela celebrating a birthday. Wish my princess Michaela a happy second.
Heidi.
Oh, sorry, we're starting with Heidi first. Heidi Weber, on your birthday, I thought of giving you the cutest gift in the world, but then I realized that it's not possible because you yourself are the cutest gift in the world. Oh, is that not adorable? Happy birthday, Heidi, from your fam.
And then Michaela. Now
it's
Michaela.
Michaela's turn. I was just getting too excited, Michaela.
All right, so Michaela, it says here, I wish my princess Michaela a happy second birthday. May your life be filled with joy, laughter, and love. May you prosper in life now and always. Love you lots. This is from your mom and your family. Then Songeziwe, it's your birthday today as well. May you achieve everything you desire in life. I wish you a very sweet and happy birthday, Songeziwe. May you have an awesome life ahead. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, and then Dylan's up next. It's a 25th birthday. Happy 25th birthday to my son, Dylan. Love from your mom, Carl and Kirsten. Oh, Dylan looking swagalicious over there, man.
Looks
Have a
like
beautiful
a
day.
gamer, Dylan, eh? Looks like a gamer.
I
And
like
then
that swag.
it's Maimuna. Maimuna's birthday?
Yes, Maimuna, and I think we actually have Maimuna on the line celebrating her birthday this morning. Maimuna, are you here with us?
Good morning.
Happy birthday, Maimuna!
Thank you.
How are you doing today, Maimuna? Thank you so much for waking up so early and starting your day on the best side of life. We've got a real incredible message here which we want to read out to you guys. And this is from your friends and family. Tubbs, you want to take it away?
Yeah. So it says here, we would love to wish our dear friend Maimuna a beautiful and happy 42nd birthday. You are a strong woman with a beautiful heart. Thank you for supporting us and loving us. We are truly grateful and appreciative for everything you've done for us as a family, and your loyalty has no bounds. We pray for you, and may the Almighty God continue to bless you. This is from Pastor Reggie and Isabel Albertine. Maimuna. All of that love, all of that love. What do you have to say to them?
I'm so excited and thank you very much. And I didn't expect this early morning, but thank you so much, Pastor and Isabel. I love you guys very much. The whole family.
Oh, Maimuna, well, I can hear you sound like you're giggling, you sound like you're smiling, and you're making us all smile in the studio. So thank you so much for tuning in, of course, and for letting us hear from you on your birthday. We wish you nothing but magic, and to the rest of you all that are wishing, or that are watching as well, we're wishing you nothing but prosperity and magic today too. Oh,
of course, Maimuna does sound like a woman with a big heart, and of course, you deserve all of the love, and everybody celebrating their birthday today, you deserve all of the love that you are being showered with today. But of course, if you have a loved one celebrating their birthday soon, please, let's put them on the show. Let us know. Send us a WhatsApp, 071-640-6551. Send that video on WhatsApp, or you can email us, birthdays@cadova.tv. But of course, if it is your birthday today, from all of us here at Expresso, to you, happy birthday.
It's just gone 2 minutes past 7 o'clock on this Monday morning. Here's another look at the news headlines. On the national news front, Eskom announced yesterday that the power system will be severely constrained this week as 8 of its generating units are still unavailable. The power utility issued a statement warning consumers that any deterioration in generating performance would result in load shedding. It said despite technicians continuing to work to return some units today, the system remains vulnerable. Moreover, Eskom implored South Africans to reduce their electricity use, especially as a cold week across the country is forecast. Now, as from midnight tonight, South Africa moves to level 2 lockdown. This as President Cyril Ramaphosa on Saturday evening announced that lockdown regulations would be relaxed due to the country's better-than-expected response in its fight against COVID-19. Ramaphosa announced, among others, that all restrictions on interprovincial travel would be lifted, restrictions on the sale of tobacco would also be lifted, and that of alcohol too, subject to restrictions. Gyms and fitness centres could open with approved protocols in place. The easing of restrictions comes nearly 5 months after the country first moved into a state of lockdown. On the international news front, the Japanese bulk carrier that has leaked hundreds of tons of fuel oil off the Mauritius coast has finally broken apart. The MV Wakashio ran aground on a coral reef on the 25th of July with 4,000 tons of fuel, causing an ecological emergency. Now, most of the fuel has already been pumped out, but some 90 tons were believed to be still on board. The Japanese firm Nagashiki Shipping has pledged to respond to requests for compensation by Mauritius. Mauritius is home to world-renowned coral reefs and popular with tourists. In other news, scientists who have been monitoring immune responses to the coronavirus for months are now starting to see encouraging signs of strong, lasting immunity, even in people that developed only mild symptoms of COVID-19, a flurry of new studies has found. Now, disease-fighting antibodies, as well as immune cells called B cells and T cells, capable of recognizing the virus, appear to persist months after infections have resolved. Now, University of Washington immunologist Marion Pepper said this was very promising and called for some optimism about herd immunity and potentially a vaccine. And now news of dedication in the true sense of the word. She joined volunteer wildfire services because one night after a devastating fire at Muizenberg near Cape Town, she felt so helpless and decided on the spot to become involved in serving the community. This week, as part of Women's Month, the inspirational Sli Mbele was honored by Wildfire Services as one of its heroes. Now, she's been a wildfire volunteer for 2 years, stationed at Newlands and currently training for her third wildfire season. When Mbele isn't dedicating her time to being a volunteer firefighter, she's a medical researcher and project manager for the Department of Human Biology at UCT and founder and CEO of a medical storage specimen facility. She says she believes all roles within the organization are equally important. In her very first season, she realized that neither gender nor race mattered. One is part of the crew because you have trained as hard as everyone, regardless of gender. And she said, quote, "I realized I had found my tribe, one that believes in equality because, surprise, surprise, fire has no gender and it doesn't discriminate." And finally, taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment, if it takes two to tango, then it seems the first couple of rugby, Rachel and Siya Kolisi, are not on the same beat. The Springbok captain has been posting videos on Instagram lately that involve him showing off his dancing skills, and the latest one depicts a patient Siya attempting to teach Rachel some choreography. Now, a bemused but willing Rachel tries to follow along, although it's clear that she's struggling to get to the rhythm of the dance moves. Now, Siya's enthusiastic patience eventually wears thin, however, with him jokingly exclaiming that he washes his hands off her. The Khaleesi's have had much to dance about and celebrate lately, as Siya's sister Pelo officially entered her teens this past Thursday, and Rachel and Siya's 4th-year wedding anniversary was on the same day. And we hope that this family keeps grooving to fun together. Well, that's it for the news. At 7 o'clock, we'll have another report at 8. Right now, here's another look at the sporting headlines with Graham.
Well, no coincidence, we kick it off with rugby this morning. Let's start with New Zealand's Super Rugby Aotearoa competition, of course, wrapping up this weekend with an exciting fixture with the Highlanders claiming a 38-21 win over the Hurricanes. Second match between the Blues and newly crowned champions, the Crusaders, cancelled due to concerns over the re-emergence of the coronavirus in New Zealand. In the Australian Super Rugby competition, the Waratahs, they beat the bottom of the table Western Force 28-8, and the Reds beat the Rebels 19-3. Bringing it back home for football, Kaizer Chiefs remain at the top of the Premier Soccer League standings after recording a 3-2 win of a spirited Polokwane City at the Loftus Versfeld Stadium on Saturday. That means the Amakosi are now 6 points clear of defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns, who must be said dropped points this weekend after a 1-1 draw against Highlands Park. Then on Friday, there will be one PSL fixture this evening. That's Cape Town City FC taking on Sundowns at 6 p.m. Let's see if they can bounce back. Then further afield, Bayern Munich will face Lyon in the second UEFA Champions League semi-final. The first semi-final will see RB Leipzig up against Paris Saint-Germain. On Friday, German side Bayern thrashed Lionel Messi's Barcelona 8-2 at their Estadio da Luz, and French club Lyon must be said they stunned Manchester City 3-1. So the Champions League semis will take place tomorrow and on Wednesday. And staying in Europe, Sevilla booked their place in the UEFA Europa League final after coming from behind to beat Manchester United 2-1 in Germany late last night. Penalty by midfielder Bruno Fernandes in the 9th minute put United on the front foot, but Sevilla's Suso equalised in the first half, and then a second half goal by Luc de Jong secured the match for the Spanish side. There's just one Europa League fixture this evening, that as Inter Milan take on Shakhtar Donetsk. They'll go head-to-head for a place in that final at 9 p.m. Plenty of action on the track as we turn to motorsport now. Reigning Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton won the Spanish Grand Prix in very hot conditions from pole position. The Mercedes driver registering his 88th career victory and 156th podium finish. That's a new record, beating the previous mark held by the great Michael Schumacher. Then Red Bull's Max Verstappen continued his fantastic form, taking second place ahead of Hamilton's Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas in third. Then there were fireworks literally on two wheels as we stay with motorsport now. In MotoGP, Andrea Dovizioso from Factory Ducati's team won the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg yesterday. There was a red flag, a restart of the race, and dramatic crashes all throughout. Dovi ending up finishing first ahead of Suzuki's Joan Mir and Pramac Ducati's Jack Miller. South African Brad Binder had a phenomenal race riding for Red Bull KTM team, of course. He finished in 4th place. That was after qualifying 17th on the grid originally. So a superb outing there for him and the team. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take another look at the weather.
Thank you, G, for the sports update. I am still stuck on our rugby captain, Lucia Kolisi, teaching his wife, Rachel, how to dance. Those dance moves, I'm not quite sure. Rachel might be the one actually who's on to something, but I absolutely love seeing it. But something else that I love seeing is your sunrise pictures. Monday truly sets the emotional tone for the week ahead. So let's do it the right way by basking in the beauty of sunrise pictures across our beautiful country. Liz Parkins shared the sunrise almost completely covered by heavy clouds from Grahamstown. It's going to be a cloudy day for you, Grahamstown, at temperatures ranging from 3 degrees to 19 degrees. We move over to the City of Gold with Tabang Mabote's sharp golden sunrise picture. Josie, do expect a cloudy day at a maximum temperature of 20 degrees. Thank you, Liz and Tabang, for your sunrise pictures. Have an awesome start to your day. Now, we want to see how you enjoy your sunrise picture in your city by sharing your sunrise selfies. Yes, I said selfies. We want to see you in the picture as well. Share them with us on our social media platforms, and do not forget to include your location. We're calling this one Sunrise Selfies, so be part of the movement. Now let's get into international weather update. In Kenya, rising water levels in lakes along the Great Rift Valley have forced thousands of people from their farmlands and homes as an ecological disaster looms. This follows severe flooding after months of unusually heavy rain made worse by illegal deforestation. Lake Baringo and Lake Bogoria, once 20 kilometers apart, are now so close together that there are fears there could be mutual contamination, threatening life and livelihoods even further. Lake Baringo provides fresh drinking water to vast numbers of people, while Lake Bogoria is salty and home to a famous colony of flamingos. Both have now risen to alarming levels, in some places up to 12 meters. The flooding continues to devastate not only the agricultural sectors and ecology, but also the vital tourism industry. Now let's bring it back home with the temperatures for the rest of our country. Up in Mzansi, freezing temperatures are expected across SA with snow in the Western Cape, as seen here with our very own Ryle trailing in the snow Sunday afternoon. What a beautiful sight to see. So if you are experiencing some of these conditions, make sure to share them with us on our social media platforms. Polokwane will experience temperatures between 9 and 21. Do expect some showers at up to 56% from Bombela at a low of 13, reaching a high of 18. A partly cloudy day for Pretoria, 7:23. Jozi Maboneng follows suit with a partly cloudy one, but more sunshine at a maximum temperature of 20. Mahikeng will see more sunshine at a maximum of 26 degrees rather. Klerksdorp, 8:25. Kimberley, the Big Hole, your low is 1 and will reach a high of 23. Bloemfontein starts off the day and the week with temperatures below 0 at -5 and will reach an afternoon temperature of 21. Partly cloudy skies expected in Richards Bay at a maximum of 20. Pietermaritzburg, 5:19. Durban, South Africa's playground, 10:20. Moving down to the Eastern Cape, Mthatha at a low of 5, reaching a high of 19. East London, right next door, 8:21 are your temperatures for the day. Cradock, partly cloudy day, 1:21. Port Elizabeth, the rainy city, your low is 6 and will reach a maximum temperature of 20. George, 5:18 with 25% chance of rain. It's a rainy day as well in the mother city, Cape Town, at 69% at a low of 9, reaching a high of 15. Worcester, extremely rainy for you, 80%. 2 is your low and you will reach a high of 14. Now Sutherland, it's going to be a freezing day. Do expect some snow and frost at -7 degrees and your high for the day is 10 degrees. Do make sure to share some pictures showing us and showing off the snow in your part of your town. Uppington, 0 is your low and your afternoon temperature for the day is 21. Well, that's your 7 o'clock weather roundup. We'll have a final look at the weather report in the last hour of the show. But for now, continue the feel goodness, whichever part of the country you're in. And here's Jared Ricketts to do just that with an inspirational performance.
Well, that's it. Feel good is our mission. We are on a mission. It seems that Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay are on the same page. They're singing off the same page as well. We're keeping the feel good going all throughout Women's Month. Of course, this morning is Gospel Monday. It's all about your selections of songs that you want to be hearing to get you warmed up on this morning. How Great Is Your God is the first song that, of course, Jared and Roderick are going to be performing, which you voted for an overwhelming result at 91.3%, followed by Trading My Sorrows at 8.7. So How Great Is Our God is right in the lead, and the guys are going to be performing it. But of course, there's a challenge out to every single one of you at home. We want to see you singing along and just soaking it up and taking it all in. And send that video through to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, of yourself singing along to this How Great Is Your God. Guys, take it away.
The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty. Let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness turns to light, and trembles at his voice, and trembles at his voice. How great is our God? Oh, sing with me. How great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. Age to age he stands, and time is in his hands. Beginning at the end, beginning at the end. The Godhead 3 in 1. Oh, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God? Oh, sing with me. How great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. is our God. Oh, sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. He is the name above all names, oh, and worthy to be praised. Oh, my heart will sing how great is our God. Hey, hey, He is the name above all names. Oh, He is worthy to be praised. Oh, our heart will sing how great is our God. Sing with me now. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. One more time for me, please. Here we go. How great is our God. Oh, sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God.
Come on, come on. What a fantastic performance. Jared
Thank you so much.
Rick McKay on the guitar. That was so beautiful. We have been savoring, of course, all of this joy that you're bringing on this Monday morning. But of course, we want to hear from you what you think of this performance on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Be sure to use that hashtag Expresso Show. Send us those videos. Show us those videos of yourselves and your families singing along to this. Of course, still coming up is another fired performance of Trading My Sorrows. That's going to be something to look forward to. So we'll see you after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso after what was a drama-filled weekend in all sporting codes, but especially at the Red Bull Ring as Ducati's Andrea Dovizioso finished superbly at first place, top of the podium in MotoGP Austria. An incredible Grand Prix as well for Brad Binder, who impressed yet again, finishing fourth on the podium after starting in 17th. What mind-blowing.
What a day.
And then history made in Formula One as well. A big weekend for reigning champion Lewis Hamilton, who now recorded his 156th podium finish, which puts him in very good company. In fact, he's standing alone now, ahead of very good company. We are joined by Motorsport's writer Dane Hansen and Formula One super fan Clyde Marshall to tell us a little bit more about their perspective after a stunning weekend on the track on all wheels. Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, what a weekend it was. Dane, let's start off with you first. As Graham just said right now, 156th podium finish for Lewis Hamilton, record-breaking, history-making, and the man just seems to still ooze this energy. He still has so much ahead of him.
Yeah.
What an exciting weekend it was for him and the Mercedes-Benz team, Dane.
It was absolutely fantastic. So you can see he is just oozing confidence, and I think he can find so much of that confidence in the car that the Mercedes camp has given him. It's just there for him. And if you remember on Friday, we were discussing about how he had such big challenges at Silverstone just a week prior. And yeah, Mercedes are quick learners. They managed to resolve whatever issues they had with cooling, with tire degradation, and right from the start he seemed to nail it. He had a fantastic start. Unfortunately, Bottas, his teammate, experienced a bit of a miserable start, as you can see there, just punching a great big hole in the air for the 2 racing points, and then for Max Verstappen, just giving Lewis some breathing space to pretty much just manage the race from there on.
And we know he is a master manager of those sorts of moments. He really can lead from the front. Can we say enough about the maturation, how much Max Verstappen, we always knew he had talent, but something seems to have clicked this season in that car. He is doing amazing things as a young driver. He's got to be the most exciting prospect on the track at the moment, surely.
For sure, I think he's one of Formula One's brightest hopes. He's been a massive breath of fresh air. Some pundits, some commentators, some ex-team personnel saying that Max's flair, just the way he drives, is quite reminiscent of a young Michael Schumacher or even a young Ayrton Senna. Let's not forget that he made his debut when he was just 17 years old.
Wow.
So he's still, 22, 23, but he is really, gaining confidence, going from strength to strength. And I think, in my opinion, the best is yet to come.
Wow, at 17, you don't even have your license yet in South Africa. But Clyde, what did you make of the weekend's race? How did you enjoy the action out there in Spain?
To me, it was a rudimentary race. Mercedes got it spot on from the minute one. Just felt a bit upset over Leclerc's not finishing. And I think Max Verstappen is so close to catching up to Lewis as time goes on. And I was impressed with Lance Stroll as well. And Vettel's management of his tires, taking it through right to the end for a 1 pit stop race. But Hamilton had it hands down.
Are you I'm trying to gauge by your response there who you are. Are you a Ferrari man? Are you a Merc man? I'm guessing Ferrari, but who has your heart, Clyde?
Mercedes has my heart. I've been a Hamilton fan since he was at McLaren, and he's just been marvelous since he's been at Mercedes. He has the right team behind him, and he's supporting Bottas is what's helping him get further as well. We can't always say it's down to the head driver, but his team is doing a wonderful job for him as well.
Yeah, as
37 points that lead now that Hamilton has at the top of the drivers or the World Championship right now. But let's talk
let's talk
MotoGP,
2 wheels, an incredible event, very dangerous. I think Valentino Rossi nearly lost his life during a spectacular crash that he wasn't actually involved in, but they had to red flag it, restart the race. But I suppose from a South African perspective, over and above the brilliant drive from a ride from Dovizioso, which was quite superb, Brad Binder starting at 17th on the grid and crushing his way to 4th place. He's now 4th in the championship. Dane, he could mount a title race.
Yeah, that's completely true. I think he's definitely got the bike there for it. The KTM camp has definitely built something incredibly strong for himself and Espargaro this year. In terms of the race, we were a little bit concerned about his qualifying on Saturday. His one-lap pace just not really seeming to be there at the moment, but that's definitely a problem that he can iron out. I think Brad Binder is definitely a Sunday rider, rather. And so he started in 17th. He climbed all the way up to 9th, just until that red flag came out due to that horrific accident between Morbidelli and Zarco. And then again, as soon as the lights went out for a second time yesterday, he just went from strength to strength. He just climbed his way through the field to finish a really, really strong 4th. So well done to him.
Yeah. Any news and update on the riders after that crash that Graham just described, Dane?
As horrific as it is, I think MotoGP's come a ways in terms of safety over the years. Let's not forget that turn 2 is incredibly fast. It's pretty much a glorified turn. These guys are hitting the apex. They're about 300 odd Ks an hour, if not more. So, with the help of the leathers, they just slide along the tarmac. We saw one of the riders bouncing along the gravel. But I think the luckiest 2 riders of the day was Vinales and obviously Rossi. Rossi's been in the sport in top flight MotoGP for the better part of 20 odd years. And I think he hasn't been so shaken by an accident in a long time. We could see when he stopped his bike in the pits, he was just shrugging his shoulders, his hands were up, and I think he wiped his brow a few times. He definitely knows how lucky he was. And it was just a moment for the riders to just stop and take stock and appreciate the safety and just look forward now.
Yeah, I mean, it was so close, it literally vibrated his camera on his bike. Wow. That's how close a call it was. But of course, I'm yet to concede to Brad Binder yet again. But a massive thank you to both of you, gents, to Clyde. We're going to have you back, my friend, and enjoy the rest of the season. No doubt your team will do you proud in Formula One. Clyde Marshall joining us as our super fan, and we'd love to hear from all of you super fans out there. If you love motorsport, if you love a particular team, if you love your footy, your rugby, let us know. We could be contacting you live and having a chat live on air as our super fan. But Dana, a huge thank you to you as well. We're going to let you go and enjoy the beautiful sunny weather in Barcelona behind you. And
I came prepared today. I have my retro Schumacher 1998 cap.
Thanks, guys.
Stuff, man.
Thank you.
Clover's range of margarines and spreads. Classic spread. Mama Bake.
Margie, how do you know what we like? I know someone who knows.
Spread the Margie love.
With love by Clover.
Sure, and of course, nothing beats a classic, hearty South African stew. And now, of course, Waterblommetjies. Yeah, you heard it correctly. Waterblommetjies have just come into season. And what better way to celebrate this water plant than a delicious meat-free Monday Waterblommetjie breedie. This sounds delicious, sounds interesting indeed. And who's going to be taking through this magic? It's Herman Lensing. He's showing us how all of this comes together. How are you doing this morning, brother?
Doing well, doing good.
Oh, it's good to have you in the kitchen, man. These things are looking so weird. They're space-like. I don't see many of them, and I'm sure everybody at home is just dying to know, what is a Waterblommetjie?
Yeah, you haven't lived until you had a proper Waterblommetjie breedie. You can't say stew, it's like a breedie.
Okay.
So Waterblommetjies is indigenous to South Africa, specifically to the Boland.
Okay, yeah.
You won't find it anywhere else in the world. There's rumors that there were some of them growing in Monet's gardens in France, probably the French Huguenots who took them there. But you get a similar sort of a pond wheat growing in Australia, but nothing comes close to the Kaapstadway Waterblommetjies. It's
wow, so specific to the Boland region.
Yes.
This is like fine dining delicacy for a weed, eh?
So it's the voorblad nooi van die Boland. She's amazing. So what's amazing, you can serve them like you said, we're going to serve them meatless, but traditionally in my house, I will take a long time. You'll make like a lamb stew with maybe some lamb rib, long, and you stew it for long in the oven to get that. It's a beautiful thing.
So I'd imagine if you had the option of like a little potjie dish, this would be the winner.
Yeah.
So for everybody that doesn't have the potjie dish, how do they make this magic come together?
Okay, so we start with some clover spread.
Okay.
What's nice about this, there's a lot of vitamins in there. I think there's 10 vitamins and it's all healthy and good. So like a big No one can say no to fat.
True, I think we're using this a lot for a couple of our meals in the kitchen.
Yes.
So always adding some extra vitamins and getting the good stuff in there. Of course, you guys just tuned in and you're just tuning in. Head over to expressoshow.com if you're wondering what is going on here. We're making Waterblommetjie brötjie. Oh, it's absolutely sorry, and it's absolutely bready. And it's smelling absolutely delicious already. It's almost a delicacy when it comes to our region. So obviously head over to expressoshow.com to find out how we're putting this bready together. Smelling very, very interesting already.
Okay, so we've got our onions in there. Like you're basically sweating the onions with some fresh garlic. Always fresh garlic. Those things you buy in the bottle, that's not garlic.
Okay, so I should throw mine away then?
Yes, we want beautiful fresh garlic to give you that sweet nuances, that beautiful notes that you get.
All right.
That's so typically known for bready. I like to add coriander. Always whole coriander. You just grind it up coarsely. Coriander is a classic combination that goes with any bready, especially when you use lamb. But obviously we're going meat-free, so we want to create those big flavors that you would classically get in a meat dish.
Random question: if someone wanted to add meat to a dish like this, is that an option?
Yes, of course. So at this stage, what I'll do is I'll add all my aromatics, my herbs, all my spices. Then I'll take I like to use either lamb neck or lamb rib. Okay. We'll add it in this stage, and let it brown slowly with the onions.
Slow, yeah, I like that.
And then you first cook down your meats until it falls off the bone. Because you want to get that meat, all that meat juices, and then you'll add all the rest of the ingredients.
Right. But let's keep it meat-free as we continue, of course. So where we often are you still making those little infusions of
adding some smoked paprika. So when you make meatless dishes, it's important to use big aromatics. You want to use flavors that are big. So I like to call it meat dishes for vegetarians. So you don't always need meat in a dish.
Yes.
So you want that big flavor, the smokiness of the paprika, the flavors of the coriander, all those big flavors.
And that's substituting for the lack of the textures and the meat flavors that you would have normally had, right?
And we're not trying to substitute meat. We're trying to create an experience. I always like to tell people it's not necessary to always have meat in your food. You can create flavorful dishes with all that flavors. And if meat is there, it's good. But if it's not there, you're not missing out on anything. We're going to add our waterblommetjies.
Okay.
Make sure they're cleaned very well. When you buy them from a farmer, directly from a farmer, what I like to do is you put them in a tub, salted water, let them soak overnight.
Okay.
Then you take them out and you have to rinse them very well. Remember, it's a weed, so inside there will be a lot of little quickies that you have to wash out. So
it actually looks like a bit of a prawn tail. Actually, now that I'm looking at it,
it's a vegetarian prawn tail.
Nice.
I'm going to take that one. Okay, so we fry that.
All right.
Then we add potatoes. Obviously very important when you make any form of a stew or bready.
Yes.
Potatoes are important. It's going to give you that little, like that lijmerigheid, we say in Afrikaans, like that bready texture.
Now, I've got to just switch it up just a little bit here because I know we have a lot of international guests that are watching the show and people from all over the world. And unfortunately, not everyone can get to Boland. So if we don't have a Waterblommetjie, is there a substitute or should we just stay away from this dish?
Yes, of course. There always is a substitute. Think of a Waterblommetjie as a classical, like a green bean.
Yeah.
Or like maybe a Brussels sprout.
Okay.
All those sort of, like a green bean is a very good substitute for this. You also get them frozen, but in my kitchen, I prefer to use fresh ingredients. So if you can't find this, a green bean is a very good substitute. Obviously, it's going to cook a bit shorter because green beans are smaller.
Yes.
And like a Brussels sprout is also good. Just be careful with Brussels sprouts. They tend to turn bitter if you stew them too long. So in my kitchen, I would rather go the green bean route.
All right, I'm not saying no to anything that you say that comes out of your kitchen. Oh.
And then the last bit, we add this is obviously veggie stock, but if you're not cooking for straight vegetarians, you can use a chicken stock or a beef stock to get that added meat flavors. But we're keeping vegetarian, so a beautiful veggie stock. And then we just let that simmer slowly. The secret to a bready, it takes time. You can't hurry it. It must simmer slowly. You must get all that beautiful flavors to develop. In my kitchen, typically, I would take this pot at this stage and put it in the oven and let it sort of roast in the oven slowly. Every now and then, come there, give it a stir, add some liquids. Very important, obviously, seasoning. Because a bready isn't sort of... You want to make sure that flavor shines. So you might have to add fresh sea salt and obviously black pepper. Typically in a South African kitchen, if you make a bready, you'll use white pepper.
Yeah.
I always say there's only two places in my kitchen where you use white pepper. That's when you fry an egg with that lots of butter you pour over, and when you make a stew. You want that soft burning sensation of the white pepper. But now, black pepper is also good.
All right. So you've got everything in the dish, and how do we get it from that beautiful pot into the plated version?
Yeah, so once it's broken down, stewed a little bit, we're going to add some butter beans, obviously to make it more substantial, and that's it. The secret to a Waterblommetjie bread is always to serve it with a bit of acid. Classically, in in the olden days, they would use sirang, which is also a wheat that you find around the ponds. So we would add some sirang, which gives you that flavor. Nowadays, we don't get it so sorrel. In English, I think sirang is called sorrel.
Okay.
So we add just a squeeze of lemon juice, some fresh herbs, and that's it. Serve it with rice.
Voila!
And Bob's your uncle.
Oh man, thank you so much for schooling us and educating me. Waterblommetjies, that's what it is, of course. Head over to the expressoshow.com to get the recipe that you have just seen. And in case you missed on how it is made, don't worry, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Clover's range of margarines and spreads. Classic spread. Mama Bake.
Margie, how do you know what we like? I know someone who knows.
Spread the Margie love.
With love by Clover.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half Project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Hey, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso right here on SABC3. When you hear that sound, you know it's about that time of the morning where we wish you, our loved and loyal viewers, a very happy birthday.
We get into it by celebrating the birthday of South African-born New Zealand former swimmer Natalie Bernard, who turns 35 years old. If it's your birthday today, well, you share your birthday with Natalie. She is a single-time Olympian and a member of the North Shore Swim Club in Auckland, and head coach Thomas Ansog. And Natalie qualified for the women's freestyle relay at the 2004 Summer Olympics in Athens, and still continues really all the time, consistently flying at the South African flag all the way up high. Natalie, happy birthday. We love you. Thanks for all the work. Thanks for flying our flag all the way up high.
Happy birthday to you, Natalie. Now getting into the real celebrities, which is you, our loved and loyal viewers. You're older today than yesterday, but younger than tomorrow. Happy birthday to my beautiful Gona. This one goes out to us, and a happy birthday to you. It's birthday time again, and wow, you're a whole year older now, but you're still looking forever young. Happy birthday to you, Zimkita from Uande.
It's also Nosisi's birthday today, and here's the message. Congratulations on being even more experienced. I'm not sure what you learned this year, but every experience transforms us into the people we are today. Happy birthday, Nosisi. And then it's Haley's birthday. I wish my daughter Haley a very happy 29th birthday. We're so proud of you and so proud of what you have achieved in life. We love you. This is from your mom, Frank, Demi, Lexi, and your son, Zion.
A happy 14th birthday to Skylar. May God bless you abundantly. Stay the sweet, caring, humble boy you are. Thank you for being a big brother to your sister Aurora. Love you lots. From your grandmas, Mommy Aurora, and Uncle Simeon and Uncle Giovanni. Happy birthday to you. We wish our mother Nomatemba happy birthday. May the Lord bless you with many more years to come. Love, Nikki and Tando. Happy birthday to you, Mommy, looking oh so snatched.
Oh, Nomatemba. Then it's Nompumelele's birthday today. It says, I've just entered into the 3rd decade of my life and couldn't be more thankful. I've never really celebrated any of my birthdays. However, today, I feel so special. I wish myself a happy birthday.
That's
Queen.
a beautiful message.
Queen.
Happy birthday to
Queen,
you.
happy birthday. Oh, man.
Lovely, man.
30, that's a big one. Welcome to the 30s. Welcome to the 30s.
A warm welcome to the 30s. A very special one.
We have
also
Sergio's birthday as well. Yes. Happy birthday to one of our account managers who works here on Expresso. One of our account managers, Sergio. Thank you for all that you do, Sergio. Woo! We appreciate you so, so much, and we hope that you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful time.
Happy birthday, Sergio.
And then it's Mashia's birthday. We have a special, special, special one. Mashia's birthday today. In fact, we actually have Mashia on the phone. Mashia, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Happy birthday,
Masha. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
So great. Masha, how are you? How are you spending your birthday today?
I'm doing good, ma'am. I'm happy. I'm turning 25 years today.
Woohoo! Come on, somebody. Well, listen, Marcia, we have a very special message for you here. I'm going to read it out. It says, as I wish you another great year, may you see many more years to come, and may your day be filled with love and blessings. This is with love from your friend Tato Mutale.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Oh, man, this is lovely.
So beautiful. What do you have to say to Tato on your birthday?
Oh, I would like to thank her very, very, very much. Ever since, I lost my mom. So my birthday is not one of those years, but I would like to thank Tato. Tato, my friend, I love you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Expresso.
It's a pleasure from...
Thank you.
This is so beautiful. We're Mashia today. We celebrate you. It is your birthday. And yes, tough times do come along the way in this journey of life. But we do know that today we celebrate life. We celebrate your life and all the amazing stuff and amazingness that you are to everybody around you. So happy birthday, okay? Happy birthday to Masha. And of course, if it's your birthday, a happy birthday to you as well. If you would like to have us celebrate your loved ones, please do send us those videos on WhatsApp, 071-640-6551. That's the number. Or you can email us, birthdays@cardova.tv. But of course, from all of us here at Expresso, if it's your birthday, to everybody celebrating today, happy birthday.
Indeed, a very happy birthday to you there at home celebrating. Now, you should know that when we're on this area, the stakes are getting crazier as we celebrate the Crazy Store's 23rd birthday right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Now, of course, in our first week, Lauren Gerber chose balloon number 2 and won the boys' toy hamper. Our second week had Melissa choosing balloon number 5, and she went home with a hamper filled with boys' and girls' toys. And of course, let's not forget Marie-Louise, who chose number 3. 3 and scored a household hamper of goodies, right?
And these hampers really are jam-packed. So this morning we have Balloon 1 and Balloon 4 with their prizes up for grabs. So let's get down to it. We asked you to comment on our Facebook post. If you could get yourself any birthday gift from the Crazy Store, what would it be? And Denise Yates had this to say. She said, I'd love to replace my bakingware and stock up on toys and games for my grandsons. Hashtag Crazy Store, hashtag Expresso Morning Show.
Love it, love it.
Love it, absolutely love it. I would do exactly the same thing. So remember, with every prize, one of the Crazy Store is also donating a 500 Rand voucher to the Friends of the Children's Hospital Association, who provides holistic support to the Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital right here in Cape Town. We know the amazing work that they are doing. So maybe so far we've seen 1,500 Rand in vouchers go to them, which will go a really long way at the Crazy Store with the value that you get there. But we want to push it up to 2,000 today. So let's get on it and speak to our next beautiful winner.
Indeed, we have Denise Yates on the line this morning, and we are ready to see what Crazy Store hamper valued at 500 Rand she'll be lucky enough to win. Congratulations to you, Denise.
Thank you very much, and good morning, guys.
Great to have you with us at the start of a brand new week, and you started in all kinds of winning ways. So, number 1 or
the choice
number
is yours.
4? Okay, which one will it be?
Number 4, please.
Number 4 it is. So that is now out of play because Denise has got it. Oh, there we go.
Good
Got
toss,
it right.
man. Good throw.
All right, congratulations to you, Denise. You have won yourself the Gadgets hamper. There it is. And it's a beautiful hamper that consists of headphones, metallic earphones, LED torch, batteries, and USB charging cable as well. So hopefully your grandsons will enjoy that too.
I was going to say, those sounds like things that I would have loved to get when I was a boy. So hopefully they'll love that as much as we do. Congratulations.
Thank you very much to Expresso and the Crazy Store, and I'd like to thank the Crazy Store for all the fantastic discounts and promotions they've had during their birthday celebrations. Thanks again, guys.
Wow. That's
fantastic fun.
It's very sweet of you to say that, because they have had some great deals. But I think we'd really love for you, once you've re-gifted these gifts in the hamper to your grandson, please send us a couple of photos. We'd love to see you guys enjoying them. But congratulations, Denise. Well done.
Thank you very much again. Thanks, guys.
Excellent stuff. And of course, yeah, the crazy doesn't stop there. You need to visit your nearest Crazy Store to get in on some of these awesome discounts.
And there are some great discounts. I think I'm going on what I know my son would love. This train set, really, really cool train set. 90 Rand discount off that guy. Almost 50% off. It's going for 99.99 during the Crazy Store birthday promo time. Brilliant.
Yeah. And of course, if you're looking for kind of gifts for little ones as well, maybe there's a robot set here, which is 50 Rand off now, also selling for 99 Rand 99. Very cool gadget toy there.
And then this one would be for my little girl, for her future. Absolutely beautiful. A fashion doll. You can check, she's got all sorts of little outfits you can change into. There is 30 Rand off that now, selling at just 69.99. Really good.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy discounts to celebrate the 23rd birthday of the Crazy Store. So, to enter the Crazy Store 23rd birthday giveaway, go to our Expresso Facebook page and comment on the Crazy Store competition post of the week by telling us which special occasion make you go to the Crazy Store. And of course, who knows, we could be calling you live to pick the last birthday balloon, and of course for you to win an amazing Crazy Store hamper competition. Runs until Friday the 21st of August. And remember that this week is your last week to enter, so don't miss out. You can find the T's and C's on expressoshow.com.
Yeah, get on it. And remember, if you're actually in a Crazy Store, you can be a winner every day with crazy, I mean crazy discounts on selected items from the birthday promotion in all Crazy Stores as we speak. But that's not all. If you spend 100 Rand or more, you can fill in your details on your till slip and drop it in to the competition box in store to stand the chance of winning 50,000 Rand in cash.
Yes.
I went and did it. I bought Jack a little sword and a little thing this weekend, and I did it.
Did you drop your name?
I did drop my slip because we all want 50 grand. Come on. No, this has got to be a loophole. Come on. Now, get on it. Get entering. And, of course, remember that there is still one more prize nice hamper to be won as part of our Crazy Store birthday celebration.
Whoever you are, whatever you need, you'll find great value for the whole family at the Crazy Store. So duck into a store near you and be surprised.
Love me from the front. Was it microphone? Ralph fit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. On.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're still with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, here on SABC3. Now, this next lady, known to her friends and former classmates as the Human Radio, Niniola shot to fame across the globe in 2017 with her hit single, Maradona. Oh, Maradona. Oh, Maradona. Ah. And now the Grammy-nominated artist is back with the latest single off her much-anticipated album. It's upcoming. It's called Colors and Sounds. And we had, of course, to make sure that we get her on the show, get her on the line all the way in Nigeria. Stand up. Niniola, good morning. Thank you so much for making the time.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Good, so good.
So good. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on the show. You recently got nominated for a Grammy Award for your role as a songwriter and composer on Beyonce's Find Your Way Back. How did the collaboration come about?
Oh, first of all, good morning. Feels so good to see your faces this beautiful morning. Hello, South Africa. My second home. It feels so good. It feels so blessed. And when Beyonce's team reached out to ask for permission, and I got paid, I got my credits for the song Find Your Way Back, because some elements from the song Maradona was used on the song, and that's how it came to be. And when the album was nominated at the Grammys, I was nominated as well. And when I got my certificate, I was overjoyed. I was elated and very thankful.
What does that feeling feel like?
It's a blessing. It's a dream come true. No, what's a dream come true? You know, this kind of dreams that, like, in your mind, you're like, okay, maybe one day, but I don't know how it's going to happen. But then it's happened at the end of the day, and I'm not going to take all the credit. I give all the credit to God, to the media all around the world for playing my music, to Nigeria, to South Africa, and to the rest of the world.
We love it.
So obviously, Niniola, you really are a huge deal, and that's why we all love you, and the world does celebrate you for that. You work with Beyonce, but you've also got a special relationship with Drake and Timbaland. Okay, Niniola, tell us about this. How does one get into that zone?
I just feel so blessed, and I'm also very thankful to South Africa for the love. Because you've shown me so much love, and the song Maradona, and to you just heard the song. How the song even got to South Africa in the first place, I have no idea till today. I don't really care, you know. But I'm grateful. And from South Africa, it spread to other parts of the world. DJ Snake did a remix of Maradona. We did the rhythm, and also that took me to different places, to a whole different audience. That got me my first 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And also from there, I started getting cosigns from really huge stars, legends like Drake, when he said, someone mentioned on my page saying, if Drake can follow Niniola, who am I not to follow Niniola? And then, of course, trust me, I went to the DM. I'm like, hi, legend, I'm here, you know, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he responded, and he was like, I listen to your music before I get on stage, and when I get off stage, I haven't listened to music as good as yours in a while. And you know what? I literally fainted and came back to life.
What else could you possibly do?
And he went ahead. Yes, he was on the radio. He requested the song, saying you have to play the song, Niniola's song, Niniola's music, Maradona. And also when I heard that one again, I went crazy. Also, Timbaland, the legend, he came on my page and he commented saying, I love your song. Trust me again. I slid into the DM again. And I asked him, like, hello, legend. I was sliding into the DMs. I'm like, hello, legend. Thank you so much. Which one of the songs? And he said, your new song, Designer. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And Bale said he listened to all my music and he's a fan. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm a fan. Can we walk? You know, and we've been walking since then. And before I knew it, other people were, you know, reaching out as well. And then the Beyonce thingy came, and I'm like, can it get, you know, any better? I'm surrounded by legends, and, you know, the blessings are rubbing off on me.
Blessings, blessings, blessings. We want to hear all about it shortly. Niniola, don't go anywhere, as well as you at home. Make sure to stick around to your Feel Good Breakfast show, because we're going to be catching up with Niniola in just a bit.
Niniola is just the most bubbly and vivacious soul. Cat, do you not agree, my friend? Come on in, your brother.
I do indeed. I was just busy shaking my Maradona. That's a euphemism, by the way, Ralph.
I see. I got you. Don't worry now. Of course, we're talking about this incredible soul. It's a vivacious personality and a passion for craft and sound, which is so palpable. And it's hard to believe that she almost quit the music industry. Cat, man, can you believe it? And she even, I think because of this, it's what really just rejected everything that results in the talent and the competition.
Yeah, sometimes that could be a gut punch if you think about it, like just knocking on every single door and being pushed back and being told, no, you're not good enough, no, you're not good enough. But you got to keep on, You got to be persistent, and of course, but with persistence and dedication to honing her particular skill, she's now up there with the likes of Beyonce,
the big dogs,
and Timbalands of the world, and with her signature mix of lyrics sung in her native Yoruba and English, it's the perfect tool with which to deliver her lilting voice, vocals, and airy runs as well. And that's why we love the following words that she recently shared.
Yeah, I love this. Now she says, I am glad I can be comfortable as an African and sing in my language. When I drop songs, I drop hit songs.
Hey,
speaking of the confidence, speaking of the pride of your nation, of course, just the culture that you have, it's empowering, and it's something I think we have to embrace, Kat. Without that, we're just shunning ourselves from our real potential indeed.
Yeah. Well, in enjoying all of that, let's take a listen to her signature Afro House beats with the remix to Magon, featuring our own powerful Busiswa, whom we of course interviewed this past Friday. Enjoy.
Yeah.
I know how to blow your mind, oh. I can tease you right, I can't be wrong, oh. Ufundi kekinga chungu, ufundi social media lista la sento, umtala ngezenzo. Uyandi kaka unga kwazo mande, zonki zinto zishange, unga kondoza kaka zonge. Oh, meta ika meta for similar. 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 Magon lele, magon don't touch it, magon lele, magon lele, magon lele, magon Ole woof anybody top of a gome. Coffee Makusara to protect the body. Eregele on a surface level, only for place. I love for you, my darling. Take tongue as I go better. Touch my hips and I go better. Touchy toes and I go better. Touchy pattern and I go better. Oh, let's another tricks on God. It's like you know the favorite color. Reading my mind, yeah, color. Ding a teeny to teeny sala. Oh, meta ika meta for similar. 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 Magon lele, magon don't touch it, magon lele, magon lele, magon lele.
What are you doing? Give me a jolt on my shoulder, man. This is vibes,
What don't? What's going on? I don't know. Fantastic music there to kick off your Monday morning. Hope you enjoyed that. A great collaboration there by Niniola and Busiso as well. Magun, the remix. And the music video looks great as well. Hey?
Oh, it's alive, it's vibrant, it's representing Africa. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Wonderful visuals. Hope you enjoyed it as well and that it got your engines going. Got you dusting that dirt off your shoulders as well. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Just stop doing that.
So I'm chatting to Umalume Mosa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
I'm trading my pain.
Thanks for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3. We're still having such a good time catching up with Niniola live over a phone call all the way out in Nigeria. Of course, she's made such waves, catching international attention as well. Of course, and brand new music out now as well, which we're excited to hear all about. Niniola, you're still there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So you've got your latest single, Addicted, which is a fun Afro house track centered around lost love and finding your way back to lost love. What motivated this song?
You know what I mean? You know I need it. I'm so addicted. I mean, can't live without it. I love the song so much because when I heard the beat, it was produced by Saz on the Beats, my usual collaborator. He's super talented, and the first emotion that came to mind was that of love and loss. So I started singing about my late father, God bless his soul. He was an educationist and a philanthropist. He was just a very good man. And I started singing about how he was assassinated and all of that. And I just paused. I'm like, no, I shouldn't be doing that on the song. And what I just did was I took that emotion and I just made it very relatable. So if you have lost someone, or something or a habit, and you feel like you still have a place in your heart for that person or that thing, then this song is for you. If you're addicted to something, is it food? Is it dancing? Is it, so it's a very personal song and a very lovely one. I love it so much, and I'm sure you'll love it as well.
I'm pretty sure we're going to love it as well. It has such a beautiful and warm meaning behind it. Thank you for sharing that with us. But also the track was written as an ode to South Africa with elements of Amapiano and Afro beats.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite thing about your second home, South Africa?
Okay, first of all, for me, my personal experience is the love. The love that I've received from a whole country is so massive and overwhelming. Sometimes it makes me want to cry. Because I remember the first time I came to South Africa, it was Maradona that actually made me come when I got some bookings. And right from the airport, after immigration cleared me, while I was at immigrations, they had a straight face like, okay, so where are you from? Okay, Niniola, passport, check. Immediately they cleared me. They're like, oh, Niniola! I'm like, so you know me, you were pretending all the while. They're like, yeah, let's take pictures. Even at the mall and everything, love is so much. So it just shows that when South Africans love something or love somebody, they go all the way.
That's true.
And it's just teaching that what we need in this world is love, and music can bridge that, gap. It just means that as Africans, we have that heart full of love and only love. And that I have seen and experienced with South Africans and from South Africa.
You are preaching, Niniola. Okay, so let's talk business now. Okay, you're currently working on your latest album, Colors and Sounds. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I can't even contain my excitement here. What can we expect from this project?
Colors and Sound, I'm super excited about this project. When Corona came and all my gigs had to be canceled, gigs scheduled to hold in Nigeria and outside the country, I was devastated, but I'm like, health first. When there's life, there's hope. So it gave me time to finish up the album, Colors and Sound. Why Colors and Sounds? Because my music has been listened to by different people of color, of race, of different sexuality, and sound. The different genre will be represented on the album. And also because my music is very vibrant, I just wanted that to the title to depict that. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Of course, I'm working with Timbaland and some very interesting people. There's some very interesting collaborations on the album. So stay close and,
That is so exciting. Niniola, it has been such a pleasure talking to you this morning, getting to know you. You bring so much light and life into each space that you occupy with your presence and your music as well. And I appreciate that you take so much initiative when it comes to your music to ensure that your dreams come alive and they come to fruition. May God bless you with many more hits, girl.
Bless you too. Let me teach you how to say bye-bye in Yoruba. Say Odabo.
Odabo.
Odabo. You kind of almost have to say it with the swag as well. Odabo.
Odabo.
Odabo. But listen, Niniola, before I let you go, I'm going to try and find my phone. And as soon as I can find my phone, I mean, you've taught me something here, as I need to slide into
the
your
DMs.
Oh, you always have to slide.
Slide.
Into the DMs.
Slide.
No, that's a song. You guys must feature each other. Slide into the DMs.
Oh, such a joy. Niniola, thank you very much for joining us. But of course, from hosting mini concerts for her friends and schoolmates, the Human Radio, to writing music for Beyonce. We can't wait to hear what Niniola has up her sleeves, of course, with her latest album coming up. Can't wait to find my phone, slide into her DMs when she's in here in South Africa. We can
Please slide.
Oh, I'm about to slide
in the DMs.
Don't dull. Don't dull yourself, oh.
Obado.
Oh, so much kids,
awesome
eh?
stuff. I love that. It puts us in the right mood. And this also, I think, puts us in a really good mood because this has been a long journey and you guys have played such a vital role. Thanks to the utter selflessness of countless South Africans willing to help, we have received multiple inspiring donations throughout the country from a range of very special sources, young and old. Today's donation might just take the cake as the most unique so far. Our very own Expresso, Frenchie Bob, decided to lend a helping paw and make a donation himself. And I think Bob deserves a round of applause. A round of applause. Well done, Bobby. We love you, boy.
Oh, man, it's so insane. The dog can do it. It's that easy, G, of course. And our thanks to each and every one of you. Woolies has managed to raise, let's wait for it, 2,393,292 Rand.
Wow.
Oh, man. Absolutely incredible stuff. Now, what this means, of course, it equates to a total of 811,285 meals in total that have been donated already, thanks to you beautiful people, and making the difference in our lives just that much more incredible. And of course, if just over 18,000 more South Africans donated 10 Rand each, we would smash that goal. That's how so close we are to it. So once again, a massive thank you to Bob for inspiring us this morning and anybody else out there that has seen how easy it is to help out. Let's get involved, guys.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. It's a Monday morning. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day, brand new week. And it's so good, man. So good to be in your company. Of course, we are celebrating Women's Month.
Yes.
And so on our social media platforms, you would have seen, we would ask you the question, who is the most remarkable woman in your life, right? We want to know about that and tell us about that person and celebrate them.
Yeah, of course. And a few beautiful people have come through with some incredible comments. And we're chatting to Charlene Mayer first, who says, my daughter is the most remarkable woman in my life. When I look at her, I see me, a strong woman with a heart of gold. She never gives up and goes after what she wants. My mini-me, 100% love her forever, my rose. Oh, that's such a beautiful sentiment indeed.
Stunning message. Thank you very much for that. Then Lazzie Mutau says, my mother is the most generous and humble person I ever met, not forgetting the fact that she's strong because she raised us as a single parent who was unemployed, yet she managed to feed us and send us to school through her business.
Oh man, you hear such incredible and countless stories of women like this doing these beautiful things, and keep bringing us those comments. We love to hear it, and we love to celebrate the strength and the empowerment of women in our lives. I think everybody here can stand testament to an incredible story from a woman that has gotten them in the position that they are today, and I think that can just go on forever and ever, Kat.
Yeah, and indeed, we are called upon as a nation to protect our women, especially during this Women's Month in South Africa. So let's continue that conversation right now.
In South Africa, we are increasingly made aware that our statistics of femicide and gender-based violence are alarming. And while we are in the midst of Women's Month, we would like to use the opportunity to gain a clear understanding of what these figures look like and what the contributing factors are exactly.
And so this morning we're asking the question, what works to prevent violence against women in South Africa? And we're joined by executive scientist in the research strategy in the office of the president at the South African Medical Research Council, Professor Rachel Jukes, to help us discuss this topic, and we'd like to hear your thoughts. So please do go onto our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, and drop a comment there. Dr. Jukes, good morning. Thank you very much for making the time.
Good morning to be so.
Professor, you are an A-rated researcher and do very important work as the consortium director for the What Works to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls Global Program. Please explain to us what the organization does exactly and your role within the organization.
Yes, well, the What Works program is embedded within the South African Medical Research Council, and been working in 13 countries in Africa and Asia, and we've been assessing the magnitude of violence against women and girls and trying to understand drivers of violence in very different cultural contexts. And then we've been developing and testing different interventions to try and build an understanding of what works to prevent violence against women and girls in these different settings. And 2 of our studies have been conducted in South Africa, but the others have been in places like Ghana or Zambia or Tajikistan or Afghanistan, very, very different parts of the world. And that sort of really helped us to understand to what degree what we're looking at is culturally specific, to what degree what we're looking at cuts across different geographical regions.
Dr. Jukes, gender-based violence is an absolute pandemic in our country. It's a serious problem. But what are the hard figures looking like of gender-based violence in the country, and how are these stats put together?
Well, it's a huge problem. We're not really sure exactly what the national prevalence is in the country. The latest data we have from the 2016 Health Survey shows that about 1 in 10 women are beaten by a partner every year. But I think most of us think that's a bit low. And research we've done as part of What Works in informal settlements shown that 2/3 of women are experiencing partner violence, physical or sexual violence, every year. And we also know that up to 1/4 of men disclose in our research having raped a woman in their lifetime, and about 1 in 20 every year. And then there's the terrible problem of suicide. And we are talking about 3 women being killed by an intimate partner every day in South Africa.
Wow. Those statistics are disheartening, they are heavy, they are unbelievable, they are way too high, Professor. We hear so often that South Africa's stats of femicide and gender-based violence are amongst the highest and worst in the entire world. How do we compare to the rest of the world, and what exactly do you think contributes to our higher incidences of violence?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, if we look at the figure I gave you from informal settlements, that is one of the highest prevalences of violence that's been recorded ever anywhere.
Wow.
National figure is not so high, and there are many other countries like Tanzania and Uganda and India and Papua New Guinea that have very, very high rates of violence. So we're not on our own in terms of partner violence. Femicide got about the highest rate that's been recorded anywhere, but most countries don't even know how many women are killed by intimate partners every day. And so the comparisons are not very strong. When we look at rape, we do know that the rate of rape in South Africa is amongst the highest in the world. There are few countries where we have interviewed men, where we actually get the disclosure that they have raped at the level that we are being told has happened in South Africa. And that's completely supported by the reports of rape that come in from women.
Well, the thing is, Dr. Dukes, just listening to these stats and hearing that you've heard people say that these numbers don't sound like they're high, is that even just one woman having to go through this is unnecessary. It should not be happening, is way too high. We've got a comment here on Facebook, because we did ask everybody else out there to weigh in on the conversation. Tembi Mujela says it's a matter of time. Enough is enough. It starts with us, leaders, role models, community, police. When you see anyone being abused, you don't have to keep quiet or ignore it. By helping each other to put the monsters behind bars, and government should give these monsters a painful sentence. And I think it boils down to the justice system and people working together to make sure that those who are perpetrators are brought to account.
Yes.
Dr. Dukes, of course, this conversation will continue. Thank you so much for staying with us this morning.
Yeah. Now, what works to prevent violence against women in South Africa? We're diving deeper into this discussion with Executive Scientist and Research Strategy at the South African Medical Research Council, Professor Rachel Dukes. So if you do have any questions or comments, please make sure to comment on our Facebook page, Expresso Show SABC3, and we will continue this conversation shortly.
You only have one skin. Nourish it and wear it bravely.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. Happy Monday to you as we prepare ourselves to make something delicious for you for breakfast. Now, eggs. I love eggs in all shapes and forms. And of course, they feature prominently in our breakfast routines. They kind of fall off the wagon when it comes to supper, right? But the next recipe is a Huevos rancheros pie, which is one of Chef Clem's favorite eggy dinner dishes. And this marvel of a dish sits somewhere between a chili and a shakshuka, and it's a perfect hearty winter dinner. When I looked at it, I thought immediately of a chili con carne.
Yeah.
But this is, so huevos meaning eggs, rancheros from the ranch.
Or from the farm.
From
you know,
the
it's
farm.
just kind of like a hearty breakfast that was just developed, and I love it. I love it so much.
Beautiful stuff. I'm looking forward to it. So what do you got for this recipe?
Okay, so I've started my garlic off in a pan, cold pan with olive oil. We spoke about that.
Because garlic burns.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you start off in a cold pan, releases that intense garlicky flavor. Keep an eye on it though, because it will still burn.
Yeah.
I like this, like huevos rancheros. They kind of like remind me of shakshuka, like you said.
Yeah.
And in Italy, they got like the eggs cooked in a tomato ragu, and in South Africa, we have eggs cooked in a smoothie. I'm finding like wherever you go, there's kind of like a version of eggs cooked in a sauce, tomato sauce somewhere.
Is it Italian or Spanish?
Which one?
Huevos rancheros.
It's Mexican.
Mexican
specifically, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. But I think it's just like moms, again, so smart. You get that good protein from the eggs. And sometimes, you know, just to make a meal stretch, or just when you have to feed so many people, eggs in a hearty tomatoes, it just feels like an amazing meal.
Yeah.
For me, it makes a great dinner because it doesn't take a lot of cooking, a lot of time, and you're in the kitchen, boom, 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 and everybody's happy.
Absolutely.
This is a next level version of it. So we started with the garlic. Again, garlic for breakfast also, I don't mind.
Hey.
I don't mind.
Those who love you will love you regardless.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's a good test. It's a good test. Okay, and we'll go with some ripe tomatoes going in.
Yeah.
And there's good moisture in the tomatoes, so I like adding it first. So the moisture can release, cook it away. You evaporate that moisture and you start intensifying the tomato flavor. But I am going to add tomato on my tomato with some canned tomatoes.
Okay, right.
And it's just a great way to bulk up this dish.
Yeah. So, I remember Graham last week talking about balancing the acidity in a tomato with some sugar. Do you need to do that right here?
These tomatoes are quite ripe. They're quite sweet naturally.
Okay.
Seasonality, that depends on what the tomatoes actually taste like. These are fine. If you wanted to, you could go and add a little bit of sugar. Sweet, instead of adding sugar to a dish, try and think of other ingredients that have a bit of sweetness to it.
Yes.
So think of things like sweet chili sauce. Then you're adding a little bit of sweetness, plus you're adding that little bit of that heat, the other flavor you're adding to it. So to the tomato.
Chutney maybe?
Excuse me?
Would a chutney, a little blatyam?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. We made a minced curry last week, and instead of adding a little bit of sugar to it to balance that out, we used some chutney, and it was the most amazing minced curry ever. Cool, so get that in there, give it a good mix. Now we're gonna add some smoked paprika. Again, smoked paprika gives you that bit of that like Mexican vibes coming through,
the smokiness of it. And of course, the heat, not the burn, but the heat.
There's no burn. People are so scared of paprika because they think it's got heat in it. You do get a spicy paprika, but in South Africa we use sweet paprika or we use a smoked one.
Yeah.
No heat.
Wait. No heat? Do you mean no burn or no heat?
There's no burn, there's no heat. There's no level of heat in paprika. Just so you know. There's no fuego with this one. There's no fuego. No, not at all. Okay, so when we do add our fuego's going to come from our chili. We're going to make it muy caliente, and we're using some chili.
At that. You got what are those? Those are like
little bird's eye chilies.
Little bird's eye. Okay. They look dangerous.
So you can't judge chilies, okay? Like you can't judge people. You can't judge people. You can't judge chilies. You look at a chili and it's like,
by its cover. Don't judge a chili by its skin. I don't know.
Exactly. And the real heat and intensity comes from within, just like people. Guys, we're preaching this morning.
Hey, listen. Capsicum now.
Yes, we're doing this. What normally the rule is with chilies, the smaller the chili, the hotter it's going to be.
Yes.
Okay, so don't be like, that's not hot, that's not hot. Add 3, you will burn, you will feel it. But these are really great. In fact, what I want to do is actually get a lot of the flavor coming through and some of the heat. So I'll take the top off, and then I just split it down the middle. Keep the seeds in, okay? Wash your hands.
Of course.
Wash your hands.
As you should be anyway, because Corona and COVID-19 is still abound.
It's still about. It might be level 2, but I mean, wash your hands. Okay, cool. Mix that through. Enough of the chili flavors going to come through and the heat. You can double it up, you can add more, but we're cooking for the crew right now. Keep it mild, keep it mild. Okay, cool. That's going in there.
So one of those bird's eye chilies like that is enough for a pan like that to kind of keep it mild. Because if you were going to go, let's say, 2 or 3, now
we're going to start like,
heat.
It's going to go from a hum to a Yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to keep it as a like.
And then when you add goes like,
I love it. Yes. Oh my God, we're not going to do that. We know the story about you getting hiccups. We're not going to do that. No, we want to keep everybody happy. Oh my
Have
goodness.
you ever had?
My goodness. Okay.
Have you ever had food that made you feel like that? Where the tears are like streaming down the one, so you're like,
Yes. Okay.
But it's delicious, so you gotta have some more.
It's even tearing, I dig it. The one time that did affect me was when I was feeling very brave.
Yeah.
And I just chowed a little wasabi, feeling super strong.
What on earth?
But the worst part is you try to keep it in, and the more you keep it in, the intensity level just rises and rises, and then eventually you and then you can't, then you're done. I love it. Okay, beans in. You gonna help me?
What's that? What do you need? Oh, I gotta get the work in. Okay, so what do you need?
I'm gonna add some butter to it and a bit of milk. All you gotta do is mash it for me. This is where the dish kind of goes a bit sideways, because we know Huevos rancheros, it's basically the ragu. You pop your eggs in, you cook it down. We're gonna top it with a bit of a potato thing. That's gonna make it more substantial for dinner.
Yeah, I love bulking dishes up with things like beans, with potatoes.
Yeah.
Where you can just take an ingredient that you have a lot of and you don't necessarily know what to do with it, and then you just find a creative way of involving it in something delicious like this.
And potatoes are just like one way to bulk up any dish.
Come on.
Okay, hit it with some baby spinach. The baby spinach you could either add to your sauce so it can wilt away. I like creating a bit of layering.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, so that'll layer.
That's going to be a nice little surprise underneath the bed of potatoes there.
Absolutely. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chop up some spring onion, where as soon as you got a good mash of that, you can actually start topping it on top of our dish.
Yeah, just like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give it some onion. I haven't added onions to this, because again, onions you have to cook down.
Yeah.
So this is an idea for like a quick Monday dinner. So you get in, get out. You still tearing.
Oh man, I'm just like, yeah. There's just something about spicy food that just brings out the...
I love it. I always say I'm so grateful that I'm marrying someone who can eat chili.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, I don't know. That's a deal breaker for me.
Is it?
Someone comes in and says, no. Salt is too spicy for me. No. I know those people. I can't.
Okay. So now I'm trying to figure out how to do this in the most elegant kind of way.
Because we're going to have to make a nest in a bit to put those eggs in.
Exactly. Did I mash it up enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it chunky as well. That's totally fine.
Good.
It's all about texture. So what I like doing is I also like dotting a little bit of prosciutto on there. You could do some chorizo. Get that nice flavors coming through. I'm adding it through. Look, we're going rustic. I feel like Nicole's in the back going
that's all right.
Nicole's going like, that's
Nicole,
all right.
don't you worry about a thing.
We've got this.
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, go.
I'm gonna layer on top of you. Oh, look
Yes.
See, now we're creating art. This is no longer just breakfast. This is art. Breakfast art. This is Bart. You know,
breakfast art.
How about you handle the rest of that onto that? I think that you've
done an amazing job.
You've got like that finesse.
So all you want to do now, right, is you want to create these little pockets in here. So our beautiful sauce at the bottom is already cooked.
Yes.
Our prosciutto is going to go crispy. Our spinach is going to wilt down. The potatoes are already cooked, so you just want that to char slightly. All you're going to do is...
Enter the huevos. Uno huevo.
Dos huevo.
And then you just allow it to... that's going to... You're going to get some of that egg white.
Yeah.
Just... Oh, look at that. Dos huevos.
We're going to go for tres.
Tres huevos. Oh, look at that. Oh!
Hold it! We are such boys. We are so entertained by the...
That was amazing.
Bring it back.
That was amazing.
Okay.
That's the stuff of dreams.
Oh my goodness. If you're not having fun like in the kitchen like this, you're not doing it right.
Listen.
You're not doing it. Salt, pepper, that goes to the oven. It comes out. I like our version better than the original version.
Yeah, this is you eat with your eyes kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have fun with it. You know who was also having fun? The guys at Woolworths in Sandton, because they saw what everyone at Cavendish was doing and at the Gardens branch, what they would do. So they were like, no, we got this as well. And they did the Jerusalem challenge as well. Take a look.
The drop in sync, how do they do that?
I'm trying to figure it out because they've got that. Look, and then they twist, and then when they get there, they're like, then you're like, I don't even know.
In sync. Santon.
He went. Boy, man.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I think they had Beyonce there choreographing this.
It was amazing. That was amazing. How do you drop in sync like that? Oh my goodness.
Wow, I'm seriously impressed. I thought I'd seen the Jerusalem challenge done, dusted, it's done. No, this is
Santon,
another level.
wow.
Santon don't play. They don't play. But what we also do is we don't play as well. That's why we create amazing, delicious breakfasts like that.
Yes,
Thank you very much, Chef Clem. Check out the recipe on our website, expressoshow.com. Try it out, not just for breakfast, for dinner as well. And you know what? Maybe even try and do it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I can eat eggs all day long.
All day long.
Right?
All day long. Absolutely.
Oh man, do we have a knife? Oh, there is a knife.
There's a knife and fork. Try that. That's a portion for one. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. But it's okay.
I'd be most delighted if you were serving this up for. Oh man, I just want to look at that. And how do you serve it? Do you just kind of just dig in?
You take a big spoon, you just scoop it out, and you put it in a bowl. Yeah. I feel like Santon needed this dish to get the energy to come through with that fire. I still can't believe it.
I need to watch that video again at some point. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness, Kat, the way you're going at this, you got the. Okay, yes.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta get all those layers.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
No. Never say sorry. Go for it.
Are we playing the video again?
Are they doing it?
Okay, I'm gonna see that again. As we go into ad break, please show us that video again. Oh, it's good.
It's all good.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back. You are still live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us for what has been an amazing show with some real gravitas, and we're going to continue with what I think has to be probably the most important conversation in South Africa at the moment. And we are obviously looking at the stats relating to femicide and gender-based violence in South Africa, some of the worst in the world, unfortunately. And we recognize that these are often, they take place in the context of intimate partner violence, which is what makes it so insidious and so difficult to pull yourself out of that cycle. And joining us via video call to shed more light on the trauma that is developed through this intimate partner violence is a social worker and program manager at the Mosaic Training Service and Healing Center, Nandipa Ganya. Nandipa, very good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
What forms of violence happens in intimate partner relationships, Nandipa?
Intimate partner violence takes on many forms, but the most prevalent ones are violence as well as sexual violence. But there's also physical abuse, economic abuse, and as Graham correctly mentioned, which has been much publicized recently, there's also femicide as well. So it takes on many forms.
You know, it's a very difficult, it seems like this is happening on levels, that the country itself is caught in a cycle, but you have to feel that so many women are repeatedly being victimized because they themselves are caught in some sort of a cycle. And the damage of being in that space must be immense. What is the trauma that comes out of this kind of, this very close contact, this kind of violence and abuse that happens in a relationship, in the most intimate of relationships? What's the trauma that results?
So because this kind of violence takes place in an intimate relationship, in a space where one hopes to feel safe, where one hopes to feel loved, and the person who's meant to be, making you feel loved and making you feel safe is the one who's then violating you or hurt this way. Partner violence can then result in psychological trauma. Where the survivor experiences or can experience or develop anxiety, they can develop depression, they can also develop fear because they are constantly living in a state of fear and they have very little autonomy over their own lives. So their ability to also make decisions for themselves is also very limited because of the breakdown in who they are and in their self-esteem and in who and how they view themselves. So intimate partner violence can really be very damaging to a person's self-concept, but it can also manifest in physical injuries or physical trauma. For instance, like broken bones, or organ damage. In the most severe cases, it can also lead to death or even disability as well.
Just as G touched on earlier on, it is a cycle, a form of cycle that, many women find themselves stuck in, and they feel as though once it's happened to them, it's difficult to break out of it and live their own lives. So, Sis Nandi, I want to ask you, what kind of work needs to be done for women who have gone through this abusive cycle, to get through the trauma?
Yeah, so interventions really need to focus on rebuilding the person. So taking them from a point of being a victim to a point of being a survivor, where they are then able to have a positive outlook on their life, but also to be able to live independently and to be able to live free of violence and to be in relationships that are healthy and they are able to then relate to others in a more positive way. Because if you remember, intimate partner violence and this kind of violence that especially takes place over an extended period of time really breaks down the person and it makes them feel very worthless, and they've been told repeatedly that you don't deserve to be loved, you are worthless, no one will miss you, no one cares about you. So that kind of programming is very damaging to the survivor. So interventions need to focus on that kind of psychosocial support in the form of counseling and other programs. But it also needs to focus on prevention as well. So your counseling would be your response to the intimate partner, but then your prevention to it is equally important because we need to be educating communities on what intimate partner violence is, what gender-based violence is, and what is driving gender-based violence and intimate partner violence. Because survivors live in communities, perpetrators live in communities. So it's important that our interventions are then stemming from the communities as well. And that's how we'll be able to fight intimate partner violence more effectively.
I love that.
I wish we had all morning to talk about this. Just very quickly, what do you suggest we do if we see something happening, if we know that someone is in an abusive relationship? What should we do, and what should someone who is in that cycle do to get themselves out? Who can they go to, and what can they do?
The most important thing to remember is that help is available. There are organizations like Mosaic. There are many other GBV organizations that are working with survivors throughout South Africa and internationally. If you know of someone who is in such a relationship, never underestimate the power of being there for someone and supporting them. Because if you've been told that you are not worth anything, that you're not deserving anything, it's very important to then know that there's someone who cares about you and who cares about your well-being. So that's very important. But also there are government resources available as well, like the National GBV Command Center, which is available 24/7 as well. And you can also accompany the survivor to the nearest police station as well. So there are many avenues to explore in order to break the cycle of violence and to assist survivors and ensure that they get the help that they need.
You are not completely powerless. Nandipa, thank you so much. As I said, probably the most important conversation we can be having in this country at the moment. Thank you so much for the work that you are doing, you and your organization, every day.
Thank you so much for having us.
Without life-saving organizations like Mosaic, we would be helpless in the fight against gender-based violence. This Women's Month, find out how you can help your local abuse and shelter organizations today.
Yep, do it, and we'll have those details on our social media platforms continually. Thank you so much for joining us for that conversation.
Well, the bottom line is that there is help, and that is encouraging because we can look to that. But of course, in this month of August, we've all been celebrating some remarkable women in this world who have made a unique mark along the way. They've shared some powerful words of inspiration, sometimes also inspiring us through just being themselves, through just existing and being. And one of them is Cher. She had some really inspiring words to say. The musician, of course, Cher.
American Grammy-winning singer, Tubbs. She's
a
an actress,
sensation.
the goddess of pop, and described as embodying the female anatomy, autonomy in a male-dominated industry. And this is what she once had to say. So she says, women have to harness their power. It's absolutely true. It's just learning not to take the first no. And if you can't go straight ahead, you go around a corner. I love that. Just speaking to the ambition, speaking to the drive, and speaking to the potential of the power within every woman that is out there. I hope you listen to Cher, and I hope you take those words. And of course, like Tubbs says, run with it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We are live on SABC3. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and we thank you for being a part of this show this morning. And of course, we're discussing relationships this morning, and really in the midst of Women's Month, joined by the Executive Scientist in Research Strategy at the South African Medical Research Council, Professor Rachel Jukes, who we spoke to a bit earlier on this morning, to help us discuss the stats of femicide and gender-based violence in our country. It's a conversation we shouldn't be having. We don't want to be having this. There's nothing joyful about it, but of course very, very necessary and very important to have as we speak about GBV in the country. Thank you very much, Dr. Jukes, for staying with us, or rather Professor Jukes.
Good. Glad to be back again. Thank you.
It's not lost on women that every August, our Women's Month is spent focusing on, you know, the issue of femicide and gender-based violence. This is emotionally exhausting work, I have to admit. But why is it important, you know, to use this month as an opportunity to gain a better understanding on these issues?
Well, I think it's critical that we understand what we're doing in order to be able to tackle it effectively. It's not enough to express outrage, but our outrage is what has brought the government to focus on gender-based violence, to put together the process has resulted in the National Strategic Plan and has resulted in setting up a council on gender-based violence and femicide. And we need these structures to be backed up by funding and to be backed up by a really firm commitment and also held to account by civil society in order to ensure that we actually address this terrible scourge facing the country.
We've looked at the problem and we've discussed it, and maybe not, you can never discuss it enough because it's such a complex and such a big problem. But now begs the question, which is the focus of your work, Professor Jukes. What works to prevent violence against women and girls in South Africa? What works?
Well, I think what's really important is for us to understand that there is a global body of evidence now that shows us. We've actually had nearly 100 studies conducted testing different interventions to find out if they really can reduce violence. And what we've seen is that there are a set of nearly 10 different groups of interventions that works. Now, one of the key drivers of violence is poverty. And so it's interesting that interventions that have picked that up actually do reduce violence. And we've seen that cash transfers themselves can reduce the violence women experience. And we've also seen that a range of different financial income generating interventions that combine an element of the interventions trying to change the way in which women and men think about themselves in terms of their gender and gender relations actually impact on experience and perpetration of violence. We've seen that in South Africa with the microfinance interventions combining a gender transformative component, and we've seen it in other settings with income generating activities. We've also seen it with livelihood strengthening interventions that have been used in informal settlements in South Africa, that have really made an impact on both livelihoods as well as the experience of violence in this setting where violence is really very highly prevalent. We've also seen that interventions spun out across communities that work with communities over a long period of time, challenging gender norms and supporting survivors within the communities can really have an impact across very large sectors of communities. These are not quick fixes. They take years to be able to put in place to sort of take up to scale. They require a great deal of activism within the communities, which is coordinated, supported with lay community workers being trained in what to do and how to do it. But that can really change the way in which gender norms are performed across communities and the use of violence. And so that's really critical. We've seen some good success from some parenting programs, particularly around the birth of a child, combining gender transformative elements with elements around better parenting and violence reduction. And these programs need to involve men. So they don't work if we just leave the parenting to women. We have to remember the critical role of fathers in parenting and the critical role of men in perpetrating violence against women. And so men need to be a key part of interventions to change and stop violence against women. It need not to be, we shouldn't be targeting men on their own. We need to target them with women. And we've also seen the value of mental health interventions that address alcohol abuse can be very effective. And there's emerging work around the role of other community institutions, particularly including schools, where interventions can really change violence perpetrated by adolescents in schools. But we've seen the success with interventions that are not delivered by teachers, interventions that are more participatory and gender transformative, delivered in the school space, but outside school time. And we've seen successive interventions delivered by churches. And I think that that's another thing. South Africa has a very high prevalence of religiosity within the community. And I think it's really important that we harness the potential benefit of church structures, much as we understand that the misuse of teachings from scriptures can also increase the oppression of women and violence against women. And the South African Council of Churches has just announced a new initiative to address patriarchy, and I think that that's absolutely key and could make a real difference within our communities. So these interventions can be really effective. It's also important we remember other very high-risk groups. Sex workers are one of the highest risk groups within our communities. And there are interventions to reduce the violence that they experience from the police, from men within the community.
Yeah.
And collectivization of sex workers can really be effective in reducing the extremely high levels of violence that they experience.
There's so many ways, and I love the work that has gone into distilling all of these areas, Professor Jukes. But of course, this conversation cannot just be had in a matter of minutes. There's so much to get into. But thank you very much for your time and for joining us. We really have such a deep appreciation for the work that you do, and hopefully this translates in the communities and people are able to find those solutions and really act on that. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Let's close it off on a feel-good note. I think Jared Ricketts is on standby to give us the last performance for the morning.
Yes.
Absolutely, we'd like to end off this Monday morning on an uplifting note, and that's why Jared Ricketts is standing by. We want you all at home to stand up, move the tables around, and really get energized by this uplifting performance. Jared Ricketts with Trading My Sorrows.
All right, South Africa, Gospel Mondays has come to an end for today, but it's the start of a beautiful week. Wherever you find yourself, you heard Ken, stand up and join me in praise and worship. Clap those hands together like this. Here we go. Hey, hey, I'm trading my sorrows. I'm trading my shame. I'm laying it down for the joy of the Lord. Oh, yeah, I'm trading my sickness. I'm trading my pain. I'm laying it down for the joy of the Lord. Join me in singing this part, it's easy. And it goes, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Hey, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Amen, amen, amen. I'm trading my sorrows. I'm trading my shame. I'm laying it down for the joy of the Lord. Hey, I'm trading my sickness. I'm trading my pain. I'm laying it down for the joy of the Lord. South Africa, join me. Here we go. As we sing, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Hey, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Amen, amen, amen. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Oh, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Hey, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Amen. Amen.
Jared Ricketts on your Feel Good Breakfast Show with another uplifting number, Trading My Sorrows, and hopefully that's gotten you seriously motivated and inspired to just start the brand new week on a new level of vibration, of positivity, of spiritual upliftment, right?
It's all about positivity. It's all about spiritual upliftment. It's about approaching the week with a clear mind, a clear heart. Jared Ricketts, take a bow.
Take a bow, sir. Take a bow.
Roderick McKay on the keys as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that feel-good performance, rather.
Absolutely. Well, 12:30 tonight, or 12 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
Hey! Level 2, angithi. But you've got to, guys, please remember, as somebody tweeted that, yes, we might be going to level 2 of lockdown, but Corona and COVID-19 didn't choose to go to level 2. So still remain safe, keep those masks on, wash those hands, social distance, all of those regulations that have gotten us to this point. Let's continue with that. And of course, join us tomorrow morning. We've got an exciting chat with none other than
Kwesta, the king of African rap, man. He's just announced new babies on on the way.
Hey.
There's new music. There's so much more going on. We're talking skin allergies as well, which is a very important conversation actually because of winter. Also, Cat Daddy over here. What are you going to be singing tomorrow?
Cat Daddy. And don't miss out. Tuesday Tunes coming your way. But thanks so much for joining us on this Monday morning. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Make someone smile. Bye.
Adios.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.